hydrostatic transmission makes for easy operation. The Kubota BX Series, the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. for over 10 years. You own the land. Now, make it yours. Get the Kubota BX 2380 for payments as low as $99 a month.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, 126 Bessie Drive, off Highway 74 at Oak Grove Road, Kings Mountain.
Victoria Grainer is this month's McDonald's WHS What's Up Shopper Scholar Athlete of the Month. Victoria is a senior at Shelby High School and is the daughter of Sherry and Chris Grainer. She plays center midfield on the varsity soccer team and also runs cross country. Victoria has a 4.72 grade point average with advanced courses including world history, statistics, and literature, along with several courses through Cleveland Community College. Her extracurricular activities include club soccer, Young Life, National Honor Society, Beta Club, Student Council, Peer Group Connection, and French Honor Society. She's a member of the Central Methodist Church and is involved in youth activities. She is also a member of the Junior Civitans, does a tutoring program, and a charity league volunteer. After graduation, Victoria plans to attend law school and pursue her dreams of being an attorney. The McDonald's KTC Broadcasting What'sUpShopper.com Scholar Athlete Award is to recognize a student athlete, not only for accomplishments in athletics, but also for overall achievements in the classroom and for overall school and community citizenship.
Hello, Gaston County residents. There's an old saying, many receive advice, only the wise profit from it. Here's some advice. The true value of your home might be 3 times the amount of that low cash offer you received. Yes, triple. For over 25 years, Warren Moss and his team at Moss Realty has served the community, made the process easy, and helped sellers maximize their profits. Voted best of Gaston year after year after year. Moss Realty, your hometown specialist. Visit them at mossrealty.com or 704-865-5555.
Join Milton Baker for the West End Sale Swap Shop, Monday through Friday on Carolina Country, WCSL, Cherryville, Gastonia, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, and online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
The game plays right here.
Are you ready for some football?
Your sports leader, WOHS Shelby, WLON Lincoln, and WCSL, Cherryville, Gastonia.
Hello, this is Milton Baker inviting you to listen to NASCAR racing right here on WCSL 1590 AM, 92.3 FM, and ktcbroadcasting.com.
Chosen breed, you don't see too many like me. Cause I am one of the reasons you do what you do when you wanna be me instead of you. Cause I am still on beat, showing love to the streets. Come on, you know me, cause that's who I am.
Start barking at any moment, so
got no appreciation for the greats of the game, do they?
Huh?
He's dead.
Okay. Welcome everybody this morning to Saturday Morning Sports Talk here, KTC Broadcasting. Thank you all for joining us this morning. Some of us are mid-chew on our breakfast this morning. Breakfast brought to you by who, Terry?
Mitchem's Kitchen, 704-276-1155. Stop
And-
by up there and ask Carol and Robin for breakfast, lunch, dinner. Yeah, they got it all.
And our show is brought to you by our sponsors, Tom.
Friendship, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, 190 Oak Street Extension, Forest City, North Carolina, 828-919-3001. See, I was ready for that, Terry.
I'm proud of you.
Friendship, Nissan, 156 Oak Street Extension in Forest City, North Carolina, 828-245-1661. See our friends at Friendship. Thank you for sponsoring Saturday Morning Sports Talk.
And we've got a lot of sports to get into. Obviously, today is Playoff Saturday. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The NFL is playing today.
Washington played today?
Yes, they play tonight. They are the late night game. There are 3 games on today. There will be 3 games tomorrow. Today's games, if I'm not mistaken, which I could be very mistaken, I think it is the Ravens and Titans. I know Washington and Tampa Bay play later tonight.
Well, the Bills and Colts play tomorrow.
Yeah, the Bills and the Colts play tomorrow.
Why
And,
is that everybody's? Go ahead and ask you, Hunter, because
I'm sorry. Wait a minute.
You've been
That's
on this Bills bandwagon, so have I a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Why is everybody picking the Colts to go into Buffalo, and that's their
I'm
upset
sorry. No,
pick?
Indianapolis and Buffalo's today.
Is it
They're
today?
the 1 o'clock game. Baltimore, Tennessee is tomorrow. 4:40 game is the Rams, Seattle. Tonight's Tampa Bay, Washington.
Why is everybody saying this is our sweetheart upset pick? The Colts going to go into
Because they
Buffalo?
play good defense and can run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
That's exactly what it is.
And a veteran quarterback.
But
I'm
struggled.
with you.
They struggled against the Jaguars in their last game.
I understand that, but that today is in fact Wild Card Saturday. There is also college basketball today, and tomorrow. I'm sorry, not tomorrow or Sunday. Monday will be in fact the final college football game of the year as Alabama and Ohio State prepare to do battle for the national championship. So it's official. We can say college and professional football is coming to a close. We probably have only 5 weekends, maybe 4 weekends left. That's about it.
It'll be back.
But this is the second week of the 4 best weeks in football season. So last week, all the little college people got their fun little bowls, and you got 2 days of NFL football. And then this week, you get 2 days of NFL football, and you get a national championship game for Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And then next week, we get 2 more days of football of NFL. I just like being able to watch football on Saturdays. That's not, I know you guys like watch college, but I like watching the pros. And I get to see all the good teams now, and it's going to be fun. And we're going to break down our preseason predictions in a little bit, folks. Not only do we got bad predictions from the last few weeks from the bowl games and the NFL games, we got bad season. Well, not really bad season predictions. I'm going to pat myself on the back a little bit, aren't we, Hunter?
Mm.
And we did pretty well. And we're going to talk about that just a little bit, folks. We've got updates on high school sports notifications and things like that. Speaking of that, we supposed to have a broadcast last night, Tom, over at Burns, and then also over at Lincoln and over at Cherryville. And we had just, this blizzard that came in this week knocked all that out, and didn't have any last night, guys. So
Yep.
We'll have more sports Friday. I tell you what, I can pull that schedule up. JP, while I'm doing that, why don't you tell us the weekend schedule in there on the broadcast sheet for me?
Okay, let's see. What is it? The 10th and
Today's the 9th.
Today's 9th.
Tomorrow
We
is the
have
10th.
We have Wake Forest at Duke at 11 a.m. We have Clemson at North Carolina at 6 p.m. tonight. Tomorrow there are no games scheduled.
Okay. That's all you got in there.
No, I got more if you want me to do more.
Mm-hmm.
No. Monday we have Roy Williams live.
Mm-hmm. Say it 3 times fast, JP.
I can't say it 5 times. I can barely say it once fast. And then we have the New York Knicks at the Charlotte Hornets at 7 as well.
Okay.
Well,
I believe the North Carolina Clemson game has been postponed.
you talking
It
about
has.
for tonight?
Yes.
Yes, it
Okay,
has.
so I don't. Jeez, I'll have
Clemson's
to-
postponed their next 2,
They got a problem in Clemson,
I guess.
or are they scared of everybody
Probably
else?
beat North Carolina State, and that stunned them so much that they beat us that they had to take a few weeks off.
there's your for you Tar Heel fans, Terry Reinhardt. You can reach him at 704. Tom, he talks about Hunter and some folks not answering their phones sometimes, but his phone got quiet for 6 days after State lost their bowl game and the Cowboys were eliminated from the playoffs. We didn't hear from him.
Didn't hear from him.
No phone calls, no texts, no answering nothing. It's like he took his battery out of his phone, Tom. It was just quiet. It was weird, 5 days of nothing. And then we'll have days, say if Cleveland even won, and you still got 9 texts about Cleveland's not going to win next week in Pittsburgh or something like that. It's weird.
Weird,
yeah, it is.
Well, we had another coaching mistake that I keep not quite understanding McCarthy again when there's a catch made towards the end of the Dallas and Giants game that he should have threw the flag. 3 minutes left in the game, so either you throw the flag or you don't because there's not going to be another time. So he does not throw it. Well, then the Giants kick a field goal and go up by 4. Well, they had only been up by 1, and all we'd have had to do was kick a field goal at the end of the game and beat them. And we would have had the opportunity to do that. Well, what coach from Philadelphia, what's the name, Peterson? He kind of blows everybody's bombshell, and a lot of his guys have quit on account of what he did. I'm going to be honest. If I played for that guy, I could not play for him. There's no way that I could come up into the fourth quarter and me take my starter out and put in a guy who's probably only had 10 snaps all year long to end a game, and you're going to lose. If I was going to do that, I'd have done it either at the start of the game or at halftime is when you should have did it. But he did not. He waits till the fourth quarter.
They're down 3 with 10 minutes to play.
That's what I'm saying.
They went for 2 and didn't get it. And then
so Washington gets in on account of a coach on the other side tries something stupid.
Well, first of all, Giants fans, if you want to get in the playoffs, Hunter, win 7 games.
Yeah.
Like, really. You can't blame.
Yeah, but you can't
blame the Eagles for what they did. No. Now, what they did
was guaranteed Washington was going to get in.
Right. Well, now, and what you're saying, whether they started him at the first of the game or halftime, maybe caused a difference, but it also caused a difference with the gamblers too. Like there's so much money on this stuff, and we've already seen Philadelphia involved in a point spread covered this year earlier with Seattle in the 2-point conversion game. Now, in this late in the game, you're down 3, and you take your quarterback out in a playoff meaningful game. And I think that was the egregious thing is that you waited till it was a close game, 10 minutes left to go. I think I agree with you, Terry. I mean, if you do it before the game, then everybody knows what's
no big deal.
You still got a chance to win. Your team's prepared.
Or at halftime. I would have even said halftime.
It to me, on my end, of course, of thinking everything's fixed anyway, that one to me is just a huge red flag with Philadelphia.
They moved up 5 draft places.
Okay, Keyshawn Johnson, I don't even want to hear from you.
I'm just saying.
I don't even want to hear from you.
No, I'm just saying. I'm not saying I agree with what they did. Speaking objectively, Terry, true or false? Did they move up 5 draft places? They moved up.
They
5.
did. But
what do you
did we
get
not
from
discuss
number
this
6?
last week
Same
with Steve
thing
Walsh
you get at
and Troy
11.
Aikman? Remember what happened with
number
that?
4. Now they're drafting 4.
But remember what happened with Aikman and Walsh? Cowboys drafted Walsh in the first round of what's the extra draft they do? The supplemental draft. Okay, so that means the next year they had to give up an equal draft pick, which was their first round pick. They went 1-15 that year, meaning they would have had the 1 pick, which ended up being Jeff George at 1. With Aikman and Walsh on the roster, they wouldn't have picked him. Number 2 was Blair White. You remember him?
Oh, didn't he play for Penn State?
The Jets, yes, the Penn State and the New York Jets. Well, in that draft, Dallas had to trade back up in the first round. Well, as high as they could get was 17. Well, you know who they picked at 17? Emmitt Smith. Yeah. So you can have the 2 pick and take Blair White, or you can have the 17 pick and pick Emmitt Smith.
So you're saying it don't matter is what y'all are saying.
As long as you pick, and another example of that is the history of the Charlotte Hornets. You got to nail your draft picks or nothing happens. Dallas went 10 years after Darren Woodson retired, Terry, with nothing almost on defense because he didn't hit any draft picks. Just miss.
I'm glad you mentioned his name. He is a guy that I love speaking out about the Cowboys because Darren Woodson come out and he said, guys, you can be friends with anybody. But when you're helping the other team up after they fall down, he says you don't even need to be out there. And you know what? I sit there and I'm like, yeah, you about telling the truth there.
Yeah,
because
was he talking about Cowboys players or Eagles?
This year. He was talking about the Cowboy players this year. He said, you don't reach down and help another teammate of another team up. He says, you're out there to beat them for 3 or 4 hours. And he said, after the game, you can be friends and go out to eat, go do whatever you want to do. But he says, you're not reaching down to help them pick them up off the field.
Well, when you got millionaires
and
not
Darren Woodson
hit each other
is
anymore.
a
They're
Hall
not
of
allowed to
Famer.
hit each other.
He's a Hall of Famer, Tom. You can't say nothing about what he says.
No, but Terry's got more of a West Lincoln versus Lincolnton mentality. I mean, these guys are professionals, like they're well paid. It's a different mentality.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of the same thing in the end of that Eagles game. We sort of have the high school mentality, as you never throw. You wouldn't do that. But in a professional game, it's different. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's justified. I'm not saying I would have done the same thing.
Well, I'm going to sit here and tell you, I really don't care because we're in.
Yeah, well,
whatever.
Well, you're going to be out tonight.
Listen, that's fine.
The
You're not
mental
going to beat
approach to
Tom
it
Brady.
is, the point I'm making is the mental approach to it.
Hunter, pull the schedule up and tell me exactly what time the Dallas Cowboys play this weekend.
No, they don't.
I don't have to pull the schedule
They
up
don't.
for that.
Terry, you're the only person in this room whose team is not playing this weekend.
Okay.
I mean, Mr. Text, I ain't got no text this week about the playoffs.
If I would have got in at 6-10, I would have said, okay, that's fine. I need to be out.
No, you wouldn't have. No,
oh, my gosh.
All year
long.
All year long. We're only a game out. We're playing
in the
first
history.
Place.
Now, wait a minute
That's
now.
the biggest lie he's ever told.
These last 2 weeks,
we had a chance.
He left me a cryptic note.
How many NFC
He
East
did.
championship?
He left me a note
Terry
that
just
said last weekend. He left me a note that he circled Cowboys beating the Giants, and he circled the Eagles beating Washington. And guess what? I ripped that paper up after this weekend.
I've got a little paper up in my head. It says Alabama 42, Ohio State 21. It's hanging up in my room.
There you go.
And I'm going to bring it back.
Tell your inspiration.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to bring it back Tuesday when we're national champions.
We should have never even been 6-10 and had a chance. We should have never been there, have a chance.
All right, folks. We're going to get into all that and more. We're going to review the NFL season, our picks, our playoff predictions are coming up. We've got Bama and Ohio State.
That'd be a blowout city.
That's what you said about Clemson, right? By 30.
Blowout city.
Ohio State's going
it doesn't matter.
Stomp Bama into the ground.
If they blow him out, he'll come and say it. But if they don't, he'll just act like he didn't say it.
So that's what he does. The question is, Tom, if they beat Alabama, will Dabo still say they need to play the Citadel to prove that because they hadn't played 9 games yet or 10 games, whatever it is?
Dabo would probably say, let us play Ohio State again, and next time we'll beat them.
I don't know. It didn't look like much of a matchup the first time.
You lose by 28 points. All right, Hunter. We're going to have fun today. We've got, just remember, anytime Terry brings something up, let's just ask him what time the Cowboys play today. How about that? But he did bring me something.
Good job,
nice.
Washington.
Little Matt Carpenter.
6
Division
and
champs,
10.
right, Hunter? Hashtag division champs.
Division champs.
Tampa
7-9. I don't
Tampa
care how you look at it. We're
48.
in. Well, listen,
Washington,
everybody
10.
else in that division is on the outside looking
I
in
would
right
love,
now.
but I'm going to tell you, I'm pulling for your football team. I want to see Tom Brady get knocked out of the playoffs bad. I just hope that defensive front for Washington just
bad pick.
Okay, wait a minute. Is Tom Brady is bad under pressure, right? We all know that's his weakness.
We'll get to that. Don't worry. I've got some thoughts on that game.
All right.
You got thoughts?
So I'm going to play, folks. This is our bad pick segment. It's time for a bad pick segment. Now we've got a list. Hunter's got the list, and Terry, y'all do too. About 12 picks or so that these boys.
Looks like a lot of.
I went against the grain. I went from Mac Brown, and Mac Brown would have had all his players. They would have beat Texas
Tom and
A&M.
Hunter, y'all missed a lot.
So there's 2 or 3.
That's okay.
There's 2 or 3
Took
on
some
here.
chances.
Wait a minute, Terry. There's 2 or 3 on here. All of you missed.
We took some chances.
So let's be easy on that. Also, we did actually pick a couple of the games on 2 days. Hunter, you were consistent with your picks, so you were consistently missed yours. Tom, I think you flipped on one of them.
I probably did.
But you know that's just how it goes. But we're gonna go through these, folks. Watch this segment. If you're so folks, if you're listening on the radio, we are live on YouTube every Saturday. Also, Hunter and myself are live on Mondays and Wednesdays, and doing pretty much the same thing. And then, but this is our bad picks segment. So for you folks listening on the radio, you'll hear our bad picks from last week. And the week before for the college bowl games and week 17. And then we'll come back after that and make some more bad picks and more bad predictions here coming up for the new year. So here we go. Bad picks. KTCBroadcasting.com.
Bad picks.
Cardinals and Rams.
Cardinals. Golf is not playing.
The Rams win 18-7 over the Cardinals.
I'm going Bears.
I actually don't mind that pick.
Packers win 35-16 over the Bears.
Bad picks.
Chargers favored by
You know
3.5.
Patrick Mahomes is sitting, right? Patrick Mahomes is sitting.
I don't care.
Chad Henne.
Chargers are favored by 3.5.
No, Chiefs.
Chargers win 38-21 over the Chiefs.
I will take Tulsa to win this ball game. Mississippi State, this is a team that's getting in here with what, 3 wins?
They're 3-7.
Yeah, no, I'm taking.
Think of that.
I'm taking the runner-up to the American Conference, Tulsa.
Mississippi State wins 28-26 over Tulsa.
Bad picks.
Well, I think somebody on this program picked against San Jose State and got embarrassed. So I'm going with San Jose State.
San Jose State's favored by 9.5, and Arizona Stadium is where they'll be playing. Now, I think last time you picked against Ball State, though, Tom, they won. Though.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Be
So
careful.
you lose again, Tom.
Be careful.
He's squinting. He doesn't believe it.
Ball State wins 34-13 over San Jose State.
Homer's going to march all over West Virginia and run that option and beat him to death.
Okay.
That's getting cut either way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
West Virginia wins 24-21 over Army.
All you got to do is look who's playing who. It's SEC against the Big Ten. Auburn wins. It's simple.
How about that?
It's pretty simple.
It's simple. That's
Oh
the Citrus
my
Bowl.
God.
Didn't Auburn just...
Northwestern wins 35-19 over Auburn.
Bad picks.
Give me Bama to cover.
Terry, do they cover?
Oh, yes. They cover by plenty.
Tommy, does Bama cover?
Oh, yeah.
So 3 covers across the board?
For Bama, yep.
Alabama does not cover the 19.5-point spread with a 31-14 victory over Notre Dame.
Going with Oregon. Upset. I think Oregon's been disrespected by a lot of people.
That's a bad
Iowa State wins 34-17 over Oregon.
Bad picks.
All right, have y'all made the pick? You make the pick?
Tamu.
We have.
Texas A&M.
Texas A&M.
North Carolina's going to win the game.
There you go. There's
You know
a
what?
bad pick.
You know why? Because Mac Brown is a better coach than Jimbo Fisher.
Tom.
He is
There's
going to
no
find
way.
a way.
Tom.
He is going to find a way. Carolina.
If
is
you're
gonna find
right,
a way to win this
if you're right, and North Carolina wins, I'll be so happy, and I
That's what
will
I'm saying.
text you, and I will thank you. I personally.
I'm just telling you.
Not
But
in the
but
group chat.
at halftime, when I text you, Tom, and say, "Hey, I got
when
you on
when
it,"
you got coaches,
bad pick, Tom.
when you got coaches like Jimbo Fisher and Dabo Swinney
pick.
out disrespecting the other team and
Make sure I
running
get
their
that on
mouth.
camera.
I'm going with the better coach. I'm going with Mac
Bad
Brown.
pick.
I'm going with Mac Brown over Jumbo.
Terry, did he just
Jumbo
pick
Fisher.
the Tar Heels against an SEC
Let
team?
me tell you
He
something.
did. And,
And I'm upset that
the
you
team
didn't
from
give me this pick.
The ACC.
Bad picks.
It really hurt them. Mississippi doesn't care to play a whole lot of defense. I think this will be a lot of points in this game, but I think Indiana will win.
Terry, what you got?
I always look at defense, and I'm going with Indiana.
They cover?
I don't think they cover. It'll be close.
Over under is 67 in this game. Hunter, what you got?
I'll take Indiana.
You just got done saying it's boring. If we
I
all
know.
Take the same
I
team.
know.
Mississippi wins 26-20 over Indiana.
Bad picks.
Oh, you want me to start this?
No, I'm just telling you. What do you think about that spread? Why are
That
they
don't mean
favored by
nothing,
2.5, being 4 and 6?
Because they
against
from
your
the
8 and
SEC.
3?
That's the only reason they did that. North Carolina State wins.
Easy.
No, it'll be close.
Okay.
We're not going to beat them bad.
Tom?
We'll probably shove our second, third strings at the end, let them get close.
Do I want to go with Terry or do I want to go with the hated SEC? This is kind of like rocking a hard place.
It's
to be.
boring if we all pick the same team.
It is boring if we all pick the same team, but I think State's going to win this ball game over Kentucky.
Pick.
Yes,
Okay.
it is. I'll take NC State. I will.
Kentucky wins 23-21 over NC State.
Bad picks.
Yeah.
That
Tom,
is
you
a
want to
great
go next or you
recruiter.
want me to go next?
Go.
I'll go easily. Clemson, they covered the spread and they beat them by more than 20.
Okay.
All right, Tom.
All right. I think Ohio State covers, but Clemson still wins. So I'm going to go Clemson. How do I write this down? Clemson, OSU covers.
Yep.
Ohio State wins 49-21 over Clemson.
Those are some bad picks.
Terry Reinhardt, JP's in the house, and Tom Cinefani. You guys have anything to say for yourselves after that demonstration?
No, I'm just going to stand by my Carolina pick because they hung with them with their third string for 3 quarters
with 'em.
till they got wore out.
North Carolina didn't have 3 1,000-yard offensive players play.
That's what I'm saying, and they still hung with
Terry, they're
them.
passing out a lot of participation awards around the table.
That's what I'm
They're
saying.
Mike
Hey, I'm
linebackers.
sorry.
They hung with them.
I'm sorry all your guys decided to go to
Listen,
the NFL.
hey,
I'm
I
sorry.
chose Texas A&M to win, but I will say and give Carolina credit. They played with them.
Played
really,
with 'em.
for
Yeah.
3
Mhm.
almost.
That's because Mac
They
Brown.
got beat by 14.
As I said, Mac Brown is a better coach.
They
Not
got
just
beat by
that.
14.
They got
Good
the-
job.
You guys got the you played hard award, I guess. All right, JP, you ready for a break in there? Ready? I got your new camera in there. How you like that? It's more dynamic. I can see if I can zoom in a little bit better with you. Look at
It's
that.
a wider too.
I mean, I can do whatever I can on you there. Look, there's JP. I'm trying to get some more comments for you, JP. The ladies back in the house for you. Ain't that what you wanted?
People don't want to see me. They want to see y'all. They want
Dang,
to
I'm
hear
glad
y'all.
you said that.
Y'all. All right, buddy. Well, how's that breakfast in there? Look at it
I
over there.
haven't eaten it yet. I'm waiting to heat it up because I'm actually going to take the bread off and actually I got some jelly with me. I'm going to put some jelly on the biscuit and just eat the
okay.
sausage, egg, and cheese.
So I don't know what he's making in there, but all right. Well,
Concoction.
play us the commercial. When we come back, folks, we're talking Bama and Ohio State on KTCBroadcasting.com.
You know, we always tell our kids that there's no such thing as a money tree. But did you know at Friendship Nissan in Forest City, we kind of do have a money tree? Our money tree gives a $500 better price on any new Nissan, and that's a $500 guarantee that we put in writing. We have no haggle clear choice pricing, the region's only non-commissioned sales force, and we have the only lifetime warranty with no time or mileage limits. So you see, at Friendship Nissan, we kind of do have a money tree, and we're located in Forest City.
It's time to play at the Green Meadows Golf Course on Kelly Road in Mount Holly. Play and ride Monday through Friday for $25. Weekends just $30. Seniors ride and play Monday through Friday for $20. And every Wednesday is Ladies' Day. Ladies play and ride for just $15. So make your tee time now by calling the Green Meadows Golf Course, 704-827-9264. Green Meadows Golf Course, 957 Kelly Road in Mount Holly.
If you're in the market for new flooring, go to this area's most recommended flooring store. That's Flooring America on Slater Street in Kings Mountain. Flooring America in Kings Mountain is where friends send friends for their flooring needs. And right now, you'll find the ever-popular luxury vinyl plank for only $2.99 a square foot. That's right, only $2.99 a square foot. All during the Fresh Start Flooring Sale. Give your home a refresh with one stop at Flooring America, 602 Slater Street in Kings Mountain, online at flooringamericakingsmountain.com.
Since 1986, Witherspoon Insurance Agency in Shelby has been serving families across Shelby and Cleveland County. And today, Wayne Witherspoon continues the tradition of bringing you the best insurance at the best possible price. With names like The Hartford, Safeco, Progressive, National General, and Travelers. Drop by the office today at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby and talk with one of their friendly hometown agents. Witherspoon Insurance Agency, your independent insurance agency since 1986. Stay safe. Get your flu shot now. from Medical Center Pharmacy in Cherryville and the Falston Pharmacy in Falston. Yes, flu shots are now available at both locations. Plus, you'll find a large selection of masks and Lysol wipes. Stay clean, stay safe. Come inside or use their convenient drive-through window. And yes, the grill is open at Medical Center in Cherryville. That's Medical Center Pharmacy, East Academy Street, Cherryville, and the Falston Pharmacy, Highway 18 North in Falston.
Take advantage of a special offer on the versatile Kubota BX Series subcompact tractor. Switching attachments is simple, and a smooth hydrostatic transmission makes for easy operation. The Kubota BX Series, the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. for over 10 years. You own the land. Now, make it yours. Get the Kubota BX 2380 for payments as low as $99 a month.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, 126 Bessie Drive, off Highway 74 at Oak Grove Road, Kings Mountain.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk.
Morning, JP.
Yeah, morning.
Well, it's Saturday Morning Sports Talk brought to you by Friendship, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, and Friendship, Nissan in Forest City. Both of them in Forest City on the Oak Street extension. Breakfast, of course, brought to us by Mitchem's Kitchen. And we've got another special caller on the line this morning, Coach Tim Pruitt, chair of Ironman football. And as the new semester starts, Coach, we've got our first snow and ice outs here in the sports season. As basketball games last night didn't get played, but how's it going for you? Are you ready for some college football and NFL playoffs this weekend? We was back talking a little Bama. Ohio State. Hopefully you didn't gamble on any of our picks that we gave last week. They had 10 misses in the bowl games, coaches.
I don't do gambling per se. I mean, I might gamble in fundraising and do some things like that and give money to causes. But when it comes to giving causes to like Las Vegas, I don't do stuff like that. But I am looking forward. I hadn't had three playoff games on weekends in the NFL before, so that's something that I guess came out of COVID that was a positive. So 3 games today and 3 games tomorrow, and interested to see how the game shapes up on Monday night. I'll definitely be watching. But nice to have, I guess, the opportunity to get a school day in virtually yesterday and try to prepare for that a little bit. But with A cohort and B cohort, you sometimes have mismatched weeks like this week. Our A cohort was only there for a day, and it worked out that the B cohort was only there for a day. So I guess Terry and Tom could speak on how you have to plan and prepare for school sometimes when it comes to situations like that. But it is a new year, new semester, finishing up volleyball season this week and cross country, and now we're moving into basketball season. And yesterday we're the 1 month mark to getting football started. So we're excited about the opportunity to get on the field here on February the 8th.
Well, Coach, how is it different preparing with the? I know besides the virtual and all that and everything else, but as far as when you start your regular seasons, you're usually in the summer, and it's the kids aren't in school before your first game usually, and now you've got kids for school for a semester basically till football starts. It's cold though. What difference is getting prepared as the season comes up here at the end of February?
It's been different, but the other part of that, I mean, our freshmen really have got a whole semester under their belt of hopefully having workouts and skill development, things like that. So they should be honestly a little bit better prepared. I told my seniors, y'all are like fifth-year seniors. I ain't never had fifth-year seniors in high school sports, but everybody's got a little extra semester and. I think the biggest thing probably, and not looking too far down the road, is how are we going to respond from having a season in the spring and then coming back and having a season in the fall. I think that's probably the thing that we probably need to address and think about the most. But for me and getting the season off the ground, I just personally look at what Clemson went through last week. I told this to our team this week. We'll have a coaches meeting here in the next month, and one of the things that we'll discuss is that first game or two, I'm probably going to let Coach Moss call some running plays. I'm probably going to let Coach Thomas call some passing plays. Clemson got in a situation where their play caller wasn't available for the national semifinal game. What if Coach Pruitt's not available the 4th week of the season or the 3rd week of the season when we go over to Highland Tech? So there's some things to probably consider in that regard. But we haven't spent as much time on the field in a helmet or with shoulder pads on and things like that we had normally done a month up to the season. Normally in the summer we're getting at least 1 or 2 days in like that. And then also we didn't have spring practice last year, so that's 10 days that we would have used in that form or fashion. So there's definitely a little concern about, what have we installed, have we put everything in that we need to when the season goes in, how much of a version of our offense and defense do we really want to have on the field. And as the season goes along, hopefully we'll prepare in that way. But it may also make you think a little bit about how you do things. I heard of a coach many years ago. He went into a season where he didn't want to punt in Arkansas. I think he's still out there. He never punts. Different. I don't know if I'm going to just embrace that completely, but there might be situations and times when you've got a shorter season and the games are a little bit more important. There's only be a half the teams in our conference to make the playoffs than usual. There might be some things that you have to consider that you do differently in the year to come.
Coach, I was wanting to ask you, and you might not be one of those who's run into this, but I know when they started the season and you had a lot of football players that were out there that were going through your weight training and different things that y'all have to do. But have you run across any players or know of any players from anywhere else who maybe didn't make the grades to be able to be eligible for this coming football season?
Yeah, and that will happen also over the summer. But usually, when you have grades come out at the beginning of June, and you know who's in that situation, you have your grade recovery opportunity through the summer and different things different school systems have in place. I know of a couple of our guys that are in that boat. Hopefully, they will have the opportunity to get those grades to the point that they're eligible. But the other aspect of that, normally in the summer, you wouldn't have something else on your plate. Now those same student athletes have a new semester rolling, and they've got classes that they've got to keep up with. And if they were having trouble in the fall keeping up with just their 4 classes, how are they going to, work getting new classes started and also trying to work to get their grades right in those other classes? So I think that's probably happened to a lot of different people, Terry. My brother's athletic director at another school in the state, and we talked about one of their better players that was in a situation like that. So I think that's probably the case everywhere. And there was a lot of talk about how virtual learning would affect that, and depending on different schools in different places, you had different philosophies on how you want to address it. But also you had some coaches speak out that, hey, we should probably change the requirements of maybe them just needing to pass half the classes. I wasn't a proponent of that. Didn't say ever voice that. But the other part of that scenario is the fact that, hey, those kids being involved in something hopefully will give them a reason to become more active and be involved and have a little bit more responsibility in getting their grades and being in front of the coaches on a daily basis. And I think, even for me last summer, we didn't have a summer. We had Zoom meetings. We had people come in, speak to our kids in our program, and not everybody was attended to that. So therefore, things have kind of fallen through the cracks a little bit, and it's definitely different. So I think that's definitely a concern for a lot of people in a lot of places.
Well, Coach, I know you mentioned a minute ago you went through a whole year of no football besides your workout and your 7-on-7s and stuff like that. But then you're going to come into a year that you just mentioned about having to play in the spring, winter, spring, and then turn around and have to start next year and start right back off with football. Are they really complications that can really come in for athletes when that's got to happen?
Well, I mean, you just don't want to overwork them or get them to the point. But, I've also always taught and heard, they're teenagers. They're resilient. But you also have to keep in mind what is important for the safety of our kids and what you need to do. I mean, our off season, when we finish this season, I've kind of thought ahead is it won't look like what we've done in the past. I don't think there will be much of a need for spring football. Obviously, we're not going to go out there and start doing the things that we would normally do in May. But, once we get to next June, our opportunity to go and do a 7-on-7 or to do the strength training stuff that we've always done, I don't think that will change. But just, how will that affect a kid? And then also, we do have kids that are going to overlap with sports. Basketball season is going to overlap there a week or two with football, and football is going to overlap a week or two with baseball, depending on how well your team's doing the playoffs. So I think that definitely is something that you look at in terms of your depth of your overall team. And, you got to have a plan for if we have and hopefully have JV and varsity team, but do I have some JV guys that I can use on the varsity if we have an issue with contact tracing and things of that nature? So there's so many scenarios, Terry, that probably haven't thought of in the past that you need to consider, and that's something I think that we have started to address a little bit and might have just scratched the surface. But definitely when we go in from a season where that ends in April and we start to play again in September or late August, I think they've moved that first playing date back to the last Friday in August. That'll be something to definitely consider, how we prepare our kids and how well they're prepared, and the fact that they're safe as we go into the next season.
All right, Coach. Well, before we go, before we get rid of you, I want your picks for this weekend. Alabama and Ohio State. Who you got?
It's honestly hard to pick against Alabama, and you hear that Ohio State has got some COVID issues, but that card of I think I heard somebody talk about Ohio State considering themselves the underdog. Doesn't happen too much in their time. Tom, how many times has Ohio State been the underdog in their careers of being a football team going onto the field? It don't happen.
It might have been that Clemson game. Might have been the first time. Yeah.
And Dabo gave them a little extra ammunition there. And it's whatever you need to do, but obviously those kids came out and played the best game of the year. And if they play like that again, hey, they're a tough out. And in a game where the competition's similar, it's going to come down to who does the best in the red zone and who doesn't turn the ball over and who doesn't have mistakes in the kicking game. And any game can turn on just a couple plays. That was true of last year with the game of Clemson Ohio State, where you had the fumble that wasn't a fumble, or you have a play at the end of the half that breaks the game open, like Trevor Lawrence breaking that run. There's a lot of plays that go back and look at, games that go back and look at that can happen. So I'm looking forward to hopefully a good close game. That's the thing that I always like to. And I don't have any dog in the fight. I honestly, sorry Tom, sorry Cole Faulkner, one of my good friends back in the day who pulls for Alabama. I'm not big Alabama Ohio State fans, but it'd be interesting to see a good game, and that's what I'm pulling for, so to speak.
Well, picking Alabama, Tom might not let us answer the phone next week when you call. So who you got in the Super Bowl, Coach?
Oh, Lord, the Super Bowl. Holy cow, man.
Who's your prediction? Where we go?
I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, it's hard to go against the returning champions, but how many times have the returning champions actually won it? So when you look at that, then you just kind of break it down. I think the Buffalo Bills are on a hot streak. I think them and the Chiefs probably come out of the AFC. And then at the NFC, I mean, golly, that seems like it's a crapshoot. But there's so many different teams that probably have an opportunity there. If the Saints are healthy, they're hard to pick against. Aaron Rodgers is a player playing in Lambeau. How can you vote against Russell Wilson? So all those guys, I mean, it comes down to probably those three teams, but you never know. Tom Brady, you got four teams there. I wouldn't pick Washington, so to speak, but, hey, Washington's defense could give Tom Brady trouble. But there's they're pros. I mean, when you're dealing with professional athletes, they're pros for a reason. So there's a lot of teams out there. If I had to just pick a team off the top of my head, I'm going to say Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints are going to get it done this year.
Okie dokie, Coach. You guys have a good weekend and a weekend full of football.
Hey, I appreciate y'all, and in the near future, I want to talk back to you and get with y'all on the things that are going on with our season as we get started here in February, and get our scrimmage with East Burke on the 20th, and then our first game with Chase on the 26th. And congratulations to our boys basketball team who started their season with a win at Chase this week. So good luck, Coach Chair, on those guys.
All right, Coach. Well, thank you. You and your family have a good weekend.
Appreciate you guys. Take a good one. Have a good one.
Coach. Thank you, and God bless.
Guys. Bye.
All right, Tom. And he's talking about Chair of Alignment Sports there real quick. Announcing, this year, folks, here on WCSL. Tim Johnson will be taking over for Milton Baker on WCSL. Milton's still doing the morning show, but Tim is going to be doing the sports with Danny Aker, and is going to be bringing some high school sports. I think Coach Pruitt could be a politician.
Oh, yeah. Not taking a side. Not taking a side. Yeah, not taking a side.
Some of those. Who you got, Coach? Well, let's see. But I love some Coach Pruitt there. Our Chair of Alignment football, like I said, they got a scrimmage coming up. And then he brought up Chase. Looking at our schedule, former coach over at Burns, Chris Cogdell, we're going to have the Trojans on KTC 3 or 4 times this spring. So looking forward to having them on between East Rutherford games, Burns, Shelby, and Cherville as well. So I think we got them 3 or 4 times.
I'm still trying to wrap my mind around football in February.
Right.
I mean, it's really hard to wrap your mind around.
Well, it's not the Super Bowl, yeah.
We need to call Vince McMahon. get it popping.
No, it's
He
not
knows how
Vince
to-
McMahon anymore.
I know, but he knows how to get February football popping.
Well, I know, but it's not Vince
March
anymore.
football.
It's-
March
it's-
football.
it's-
All right, Tommy. Ohio State, Alabama. These boys said last week that the Buckeyes weren't going to be there. Clemson's going to win by at least 20. I think was Terry's words. So he missed that by 48.
I said you would cover.
I only
points.
missed it because the
You only missed
guy
by
calling the
48 points,
plays
Terry.
was not
48
there.
Points.
The guy calling the plays.
wasn't there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Guy calling
but-
the plays wasn't blocking the Ohio State defensive line that was sacking Trevor Lawrence.
If I'm not
Every time
mistaken,
either.
the guy that was calling the plays too was
Always
Dabo.
someone else's fault.
Yeah, it's all- yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, even
Wow, Terry.
that's why you can't really win an argument with him, because if he's wrong, he makes excuses. If he's
Coach
right,
Pruitt
he
just got
doubles
through
down.
saying that. I mean, when you don't have your guy who's calling your
We had
plays, he's
17
already
guys-
said he's
we had-
going to use
we had
different people
17
to
guys
call
out for
plays.
COVID. Look at it. Here comes the excuse
See,
train.
there you
Here
go.
comes the excuse train. That's not what you said. You knew that was going to happen that day, and you still picked him, Terry.
20
Tom,
points.
Tom.
At
How
least 20
come
points.
you didn't have the knowledge and forethought to see that on Saturday
Well,
morning?
I didn't have the thought that Coach
Forget
Dabo
it.
would come
Are we
out and
making a
say
pick
what
on-
he
are we making
said.
Are we making a pick on this game or what?
Not yet.
There's no pick on
Yeah,
this
in a
game.
little
This
bit
is
we are.
simple.
We still have 15 minutes
That's
to do
what you
that. We're
said
breaking
last
it
week.
down. We're breaking it down now.
It's just like
Bama
between
and Ohio
A to
State.
Z.
I think-
Alabama is a A and y'all are a Z.
Mhm. That's
Huh?
why they're both in the national
What?
championship. That makes a whole lot of sense.
Terry,
But
we sit here and let you say a lot of things, but right now
yeah.
is
Right
not
now, it's drunk uncle at Thanksgiving after his third glass of wine. But
Yeah,
here,
I'm
you know
just-
what I'm going to say
He's the
is
king of the trolls, Tom.
I think that everybody's talking about the matchup is the secondary of Ohio State, which is their weakness, and the strength of the Alabama wide receiving core. So how do you neutralize that? You got to get a pass rush. So I really think you're going to look at that Ohio State defensive line, which was pretty dominant in that game against Clemson. I'm sorry the play caller there wasn't there to help chip the defensive end. But Ohio State's got some really good guys up front. And if they can get pressure, they're going to have to blitz, and they're going to have to take some chances. And if you blitz and you're one-on-one with Devonta Smith, they've got another wide receiver. The guy's been hurt all year.
Jalen Waddle's
Yeah,
coming back.
Waddle. If he's back, that's going to be a tough matchup. So
I like Ryan
objectively
Day.
speaking, yeah.
I like your head coach. I think he's going to get a lot of NFL offers after this year. I think he really does.
I don't know.
But
if he wants it.
Alabama took home 11 postseason college awards. Of course, a lot of them were from Devontae Smith. He actually had 2, 4, 5 of them by himself. Mac Jones had 2, and then the rest of them went to everybody else. It's going to be tough, Tom. It's going to be tough.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, you look at that team. That Alabama's got a lot of firepower on offense. They do give up points.
We have
They
sat
do
here.
give up points. Florida scored
as
a
I
lot
can
on them.
see-
Mississippi did too.
As I can see, we have sat here, and in our bad picks, if we go back in history of last week, we picked against 2 SEC schools. One of them only had 3 wins, and they still won. So it's going to be tough for me not to pick Alabama this week, just on the fact that it is the SEC.
If you don't pick Alabama, you'd be the only one besides me who's picked Ohio State.
I know. Now,
That's what I like, though. Nobody's giving them any respect.
Do not get me wrong, though. I hate, obviously, how the college football playoff system has been set up. And I said, for me, my ideal championship would have been Notre Dame versus Ohio State because it's neither Alabama or Clemson. Well, that doesn't seem to be the case. I would love it if Ohio State wins, but I don't think they will. I just don't. To me, there are too many matchup problems on the outside, especially with what I've heard with Jalen Waddle coming back. I don't care if he's 50 to 65%. That's still an extra body you have to account for.
Yeah.
So, that, if anything, that just makes Devontae Smith's day a little bit easier because then the secondary for Ohio State says, well, I don't know if we should necessarily double
can't slide
Devontae
over.
Smith. We got Jalen Waddle to worry about.
You could probably.
This is probably the best offense Alabama's ever had, easily. And that's what makes it so scary is because they used to just win championships with defense.
Yeah.
And now they still at least are decent enough on defense. It's not as strong as it has been in years past, but even we've said this for weeks. Nick Saban came out and said, you win college football now for offense. He realizes the trend and the change. So even if their defense is, 65, 70% of what it has been in the past, but that offense is 100% of what it's ever been, oh, my God. This is going to be tough. It really is.
It's tough, and you keep talking about this. That's what everybody's talking about: the secondary versus the wide receiver.
And it's only because I saw that cornerback, even though you guys won the game, get lit up by Powell.
He had a tough game.
He did. He did. He had a tough game.
Yeah.
And
He's gonna have to
I don't
play
hear
better.
anybody say Powell is nearly the wide receiver that Devontae Smith is.
He's pretty good, though.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's good, and he's bigger. He's bigger. You can look at him, and he's thicker than Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith, you could almost just look at him and say, "What are you? This twig's gonna hurt us? Oh, he's gonna hurt. He's gonna hurt somebody.
He can hurt you bad.
It's just there's a 1-2 punch there with Devontae Smith and Najee Harris that Alabama brings. It's gonna be so tough. I mean, they had 3 of the top 5 Heisman voters or Heisman finalists for a reason, and the winner.
But don't you think that all that other talent around him makes Jones maybe look a little better than he
said the
maybe
same thing about Joe Burrow. They said the same thing about Joe Burrow. First team to go 15-0 in the modern era.
Yeah.
Like
He's got a lot of talent
had
around him.
14 people drafted off that LSU team. They said the same thing, and Joe looked perfectly fine. I think Mac
How many
Jones will
games
be
Joe win in
fine.
the pros this year?
2 before he tore his ACL.
Obviously, they were right.
Every once in a while, they hit you with just a real 2x4 truth.
Last time I checked, I'm pretty sure Cincinnati only won 4
All I
games
know
in
is
total.
Jefferson that played was dadgum a guy who was probably the 3rd or 4th guy on their team as receivers, and he really stood out in the NFL.
He came in second in Rookie of the Year voting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Behind
Let me give
Justin
you guys
Herbert.
some information for you listeners. Maybe not the guys here at the table are my experts, so they know all this already. So matchup predictor is 62% for Alabama to win. So if you want to do the math, folks, 38 for Ohio State.
What number championship would this have been in the last 10 years for Nick Saban?
6 or 7.
7.
Season leaders, of course, Fields and Jones are the quarterbacks. Jones, 36 touchdowns, 4 picks. Fields, 21 touchdowns, 6 picks. Running back, Sermon, 868 yards, 4 touchdowns.
He didn't really
Harris,
come alive till last
he's
2
got
or
better.
3 games.
He has got
Harris, 1,300 yards, 24 touchdowns. Receiving, 630 yards, 5 touchdowns. Remember, Ohio State's only played 7 games compared to 13 for Alabama.
Yeah, there's a big difference.
And 105 games, 1,600 yards, and 20 touchdowns for Smith. Here's the averages, Terry. Points per game, Alabama 48, Ohio State 43. Points allowed, Ohio State 21, Alabama 20. Total yards, Ohio State 545, Alabama 535. Here's what's neat about Ohio State, yards and passing and rushing. They averaged 272 in both rushing, and they averaged 272 rushing yards a game and passing yards a game. Alabama passes for 350, rushes for 185. Yards allowed, both teams are getting 550, and they're giving up 350. Alabama's giving up 351. Ohio State 358. Passes the same, rushes the same. Everything in the average is pretty much the same down the line for these teams when you look at the averages. Again, it's going to be about matchups, I guess, on the outside and whose D-line gets there better. Is Ryan Day going to be scared of Nick Saban over there?
No.
He will be.
Ryan Day won't be scared of Nick Saban, but I will say this is only Ryan Day's 2nd year in a head coaching position where it's Nick Saban's, Lord knows what, 13th, 14th. Hell, he was at LSU a whole lot longer than he was at Alabama. To me, that might be a difference maker. It might come down to experience, which I have nothing against Ryan Day. I think he's a great coach, but again, he's only been his 2nd year. I will say this: if it was Urban versus Nick Saban, I would say this is going to be a whole lot closer because Urban has been in this situation. He's beaten Saban before, so this wouldn't be anything that's new. This is Ryan Day's first national championship as a head coach, and we just got to see if the pressure gets to him or not. Because for Nick Saban, really, he goes into every season saying, "Well, this is walking the park. I'm supposed to be here. Let's just do it like we've done every year."
And he shut his daughter up real quick too, didn't he? When his daughter got on Twitter, did you see that?
No, but it doesn't surprise me.
Where it said, she said Ohio State wants to delay the game, which they're not. That was bull crap. Some other people said that Ohio State hadn't said delay the game. But you're just wanting another week to let Fields get healed because you're scared. After she put out a couple of those tweets and Cardell Jones started going back with her, she took down her Twitter account. So
is that the one Cardell was like, do you really want to play a backup quarterback from Ohio State?
Yeah.
Guys,
That's okay. Last time nobody respected us against Alabama. We won the game. This is, everybody.
What do people who are like just so like passionate in blood and they're bull and all this argument are like that? What do they think about me? Who's like, y'all are silly. Who cares? Like, I really don't care.
It is a little
It matters
silly,
nothing to me whatsoever who wins this game. They couldn't even play it.
But
and I would never know or never care.
They don't care about what you think
right.
about.
You're very much
you are very much in a minority of people that don't care about college football.
Well, I mean, everybody be able to go to everybody can go to bed at halftime when the game's over.
Okay, that's what you said against Clemson. Just remind
Terry.
Hunter, if it was more teams winning and stuff and not like
the same three.
It's not that it's just the same three. It's just there's not a way for there's not a way for the other teams to compete.
They can't start drafting higher.
You can't draft better. You can't. What can App State do? What could they ever do right now if they're not even allowed to play in the dance? If the Cincinnatis aren't even allowed and the Coasters aren't even allowed in, how can you be the prom king if you can't even be in the door buy a ticket?
Yeah,
so that's what's aggravating.
I agree.
So
I know it's flawed.
And then when we look back at national championships last week, what was there 3 and 4 some years, Terry? Mm-hmm. That's how it used to be all the time. So, to me, it is. Okay, so here we go. Let's do our picks. Hunter, the spread is 8. I want score and winner of the national championship game.
For the winner, I'm going to go with Alabama.
Okay.
What'd you say the spread was? 8?
Spread was 8.
Okay.
Let me back up. Make sure I give you the exact number on that.
I do think Alabama does cover, but not by like a blowout. I could see it being a 9 or a 10-point game. I'm not saying 14 or 20. I'm just saying it could be a 9 or a 10-point game.
Over under 75.
Oh, God.
Oh, there's going to be a ton of points scored. There is.
I could see this game being every bit 44-34 Ohio State.
Terry, why can't anybody play any defense?
Well, the rules are so stacked against them.
Yeah, and I think that's just come over periods of time that
I warned about this a long time ago with the DBs. I don't know if you remember when they changed the rules, Terry, when we were doing this a long time ago. I said, you can't not let DBs touch them because if you do, they're going to run free. And that's
what's happened.
And that's part of the game. When they did the tie law stuff
think about it. If you can catch 3 balls and have 150 yards off 3 catches and your name isn't Randy Moss, then, I mean, hello?
The rules used
because you just run it.
The rules used to be you can touch them all you want until the ball's in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's pass interference. I don't understand why that's hard.
As long as you didn't hold them.
Right. As long as you didn't grasp, you could push them. If they come over the middle, boom, hit them, whatever.
Yeah.
It's football. So you took football out on that rule saying you can't even touch them. Then not only did you do that, you made the rule if you do touch them, it's a first down.
Yeah.
Like it'd be 3rd and 45. They get 5 yards and a first down.
Yeah.
How about we come up with something different,
Kevin,
like maybe 5 yards and repeat the down, not 5 yards and a first.
Oh, Kevin,
like
you know what it is.
People want to see scoring.
It's points are sexy. Why do you think people like they give a knock on baseball and soccer sometimes? They always are like, it's low scoring. You'd play all this time for the score to be 2-1 sometimes. I'm like, well, technically, if one touchdown didn't equal 6 points, it would just be 5-4 some games. That's just how it is. But they love points. It's still the highest rated Monday Night Football game was the Kansas City Chiefs Los Angeles Rams game that was supposed to be in Mexico City. It was the one where the final score was like 56-48. They just love points.
That's awful. The NFL average is still 24. That's what's funny about it is that the colleges. They haven't played any defense,
but it shows you though.
44 something.
It shows you though. The last game of the NFL season should have shown you when it came down to Buffalo versus Miami. Miami at the time had the first or second best defense in the league, and Buffalo still put 56 on them. Do you think if you could be as physical with wide receivers like a Stephon Diggs and Cole Beasley and all the other guys, that you're putting 56 points up on a number 1 or number 2 defense in the league? Probably not. That doesn't happen usually. They always say great defenses nullify great offenses. That should have been the case there.
Which is even more why you've got those edge rushers are such high draft picks.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've got to get pressure on the quarterback. If your defensive backs can't touch the guy, you've got to disrupt the quarterback.
It's just, I agree with everything that Kevin said. It's like, well, what's the point of almost having DBs if they can't almost do their job.
They almost have to be better, though, Hunter. They've got to be that
No, they
much
do.
better.
I want you to think about it. They have to do everything that the guy in front of them is doing backwards.
Then when they catch it, now Terry, you remember back in the old days when a receiver caught it, they told you don't go low because you don't want to blow a guy's knees out.
Yeah.
Now you can't hit him high because you don't want to hit him in the head. Well, what happens when they duck? So my target zone went from knees and above to anything to now I have to hit from belt to shoulder pads and hope that he doesn't duck while I'm midair going at full speed.
All I'm saying is if you lead with your shoulder and the other guy ducks and there's head contact, that should not be a foul.
Right.
I mean,
I agree.
I
That one drives me crazy.
I understand that if he leads with the helmet.
With the helmet, that's out. I don't care what it is.
Well,
but
I
if
still
it's
have
your
a hard
shoulder,
time
I'm
with the helmet.
fine.
Because if I'm going to keep my head up as a corner, and this guy's coming in, the running back's coming in there, and he lowers his, and I'm going to get popped right in the face and knock my head back.
It's not.
You know, there's a problem there. And it's going to go against me because I led with a helmet.
I tried to explain to people is that the running backs, whether or not you try on defense to hit them with a helmet or not, the running back's going to duck their heads. And if you don't, you're going to get hurt.
That's exactly right.
And you can't
Or
stand
you're
it
gonna get your
until you
whole
learn
neck
to hit.
about took
Until
off.
People are going to use their helmets regardless, and until they don't, until you learn to do it too, you don't survive out there at all and hit back that way. And it's just weird. The defensive ends and the tackles, hitting the quarterback. Like, I probably got hit in the face 10 times a game in high school. It just hands, helmets, face to face. And now, if you get a pinky near them, the flag comes out. There was one last week near the goal line. I think somebody went back 10 yards and got sacked, and it was a DB rolling over a quarterback who weighed a $165. Like, he didn't hurt him at all.
No,
It was a Detroit Lions game or something like that.
That new rule is dumb where you can't put your full body weight and take the quarterback to the ground.
But if you've watched, they're adjusting to it. You've watched, a lot of them are adjusting.
I get that. I kind of get that rule because some guys did it to injure guys.
Well, on purpose.
What I don't like is that at least review it or something, not just.
Another one I don't like was the one that saved Brady against the Chiefs that year, where he got clipped in the helmet by the dude's hand. He was swiping to try and get the ball from him. It hit him in the helmet, and they said it was roughing the passer. That call has gotten too iffy and almost too glittery. I
almost want to tell you,
it's just. I don't know how to explain it. It's just a bad call sometimes.
I almost also want to take away sliding.
Yeah.
No, because at the same time,
what I do,
take away sliding.
Take away sliding.
If a guy is purposefully giving
you got
himself
a linebacker,
Once
is getting ready to daggum just
cross
knock
the
him
line,
flat
I don't care
down.
what position you play.
And this quarterback, you don't know whether he's going to slide,
It's the same
whether he's
thing
going to
in
keep
fighting.
running.
If I'm tapping out, you're just going to, which means I'm giving myself up. You're just going to sit there and continue to choke me out.
No, it's not the same.
Are you kidding me? You're sliding and you're giving yourself up on the play so you don't get hit.
Give him a point. You don't know that quarterback. I've seen them act like they're going to start to slide and then
keep on going.
Running.
What do you do, Hunter?
That's
your
not
size,
a tap. It's not the same as a tap.
When someone's Hunter's size and Cam's running at him, and he's this far away from you, you have to make a decision. And if he decides to slide, and again, if you don't hit him, he's going to hurt you. So you got to go to hit him. And then when he slides, like in that Denver game, his head comes right into your hit area, and then now we're having a rough on the guy, and all he did was slide for running for 7 yards.
I have no problem.
I think once you go beyond, there you go. Once you go across the line of scrimmage into the defensive center, you're free.
Hunter, if you want to give yourself up, you can take a knee.
But I don't care
but
how
no
they
sliding.
do it.
I'm not talking. I'm talking about an actual knee. Like I'm giving
Fall
myself
straight
up.
down.
Here's the knee.
Down.
I look like a statue. Everybody knows I'm taking a knee.
Yeah.
If the sliding stuff.
Because when you slide it, then the contact comes, and it at least needs to be reviewed. That guy had his momentum going. That quarterback was upright. Then he slides. Then he gets hit.
Yeah, especially once I leave my feet to come at you, and all of a sudden you go to a slide. Come on.
Well, Hunter, Terry, who's your pick? I didn't mean to waste 5 minutes.
Mine's pretty easy.
What you got?
Alabama 42, Ohio State 21. This is not even gonna. This will be over quick.
So Terry goes Alabama 42, Ohio State 21.
Just remember, folks, whenever he's wrong, he's still right. He's a dictator.
Now, remember last week he said Clemson by 20, and he just predicted Alabama by 20, and he missed by 48 points last week.
No, I gave Ohio State a number one, Chuck, that Dabo got outcoached. When you
That's
come
not
out
hard to
there,
do.
I will give that
That's
much
not
of a
hard to
credit
do.
because Ohio State never uses tight ends, and they used them the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? That's not going to work this week because Alabama's going to be ready. You're not going to throw your tight ends out there and expect to beat us like you did against Clemson because you've already showed that card and you've got where you need to be. So that's not going to work this weekend. So you got to try something different. We already know about your wide receivers, and we'll stand up with them anywhere they go. But your tight ends are not going to beat us. You've done that. We'll take care of that. So the whole game changes. And now Fields got to find something else that's not going to be there. Now, I like Sermon. I like him. I think he's really come along for Ohio State, turned into a great running back for them. But I don't think that he can make the big plays out of this game. He'll be less than 70 yards rushing. He'll not be a factor in this game.
I do know that it's an easy comparison to make, Tom, but Sermon reminds me of Eddie George. I mean, it's the way he runs the legs. It's his legs. Not running through people, all that, finishing it. You can talk about what
It's
you want.
crazy to think he's a transfer.
It's
from
those
Oklahoma.
long gliding legs, and it's just tough to bring out.
Can I address what he just said?
Just go ahead, Tom. Go ahead and
I gotta
pick.
go get my drink.
Just go ahead and pick.
How come I have to hurry and pick after you guys run off?
No, I'm just
minutes?
saying, while you're doing that, pick.
Tom, we know
will
you
pick.
taking
I
Ohio
will
State.
pick.
Okay, go on next one. Let's go.
Yeah, whatever. So they're going to shut down the tight ends. They're going to shut down the wide receivers. They're going to shut down everything, even though
It's
they
all
give
on
up over
Fields. He's
40.
gonna have to
they
run.
gave up over 40 to Florida. They give up over 40 to Mississippi. And all of a sudden, they're just going to shut down everything.
It's going to be Fields. He's going to have to run.
Okay. I'm going with a bold prediction. Ohio State 42, Alabama 35. Shock the world because none of you are giving them any respect, especially you who have given them. Basically, you've given Sermon a little bit of respect.
I
Other than
give
that,
y'all
nothing.
credit, Tom.
Who's writing these
that
down?
your
these
Big
picks, by the
Ten
way? Are you writing these
changes
down?
the rules of their whole league so y'all could get in this. That's the whole bottom line.
What was y'all's scores?
Mine was weird. It was like 44-34. I had a 10-point
It's not
game.
all that strange.
Mm-mm. Terry, yours was 42-21.
42-21.
So no field goals for Tom. I mean Terry.
Hang them up.
And Tom, you said 42-35.
42-35.
Kevin is going 54-51 overtime thriller.
Who wins?
Don't know.
Look at that. How does he get
How do you do
Ohio
that?
State Buckeyes for the win.
I'm going to buy my own radio station so I can make my own rules.
There you go. Oh, I'm just trying to figure it out.
I'll buy my own,
All right.
make my own rules.
Wait a minute. JP!
Yeah, that's you, JP.
It's time for a break, buddy. We'll be back in a minute. KDCBroadcasting.com.
Wouldn't it be nice if you could go look at a new car or truck and you didn't have to worry about getting caught up in those games that waste half your day? Well, Friendship Nissan and Friendship Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, and Forest City is different because we're fast, easy, and transparent. We have over 300 new and used vehicles on the ground with clear choice pricing and the region's only non-commissioned sales force, and a free lifetime warranty on every new car. You better believe Friendship Nissan and Friendship Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram is different, and you can find us in Forest City.
Join us every Sunday at 11 a.m. for our Sunday morning worship services. On WCSL 1590 AM and 92.3 FM, it's the Sunday morning service of First Baptist Church in Cherryville. On WLON 1050 AM and 107.5 FM, it's the Sunday service of the Covenant Bible Church in Lincolnton. And on WOHS 1390 AM and 101.5 FM, it's the Sunday service of the Calvary Baptist Church of Shelby. Join us each and every Sunday morning for our Sunday morning worship services on The Boss and Carolina Country.
At United Bank, banking means more than financial solutions. It means rallying around the causes that matter to their employees, customers, and neighbors. Over the years, United Bank has grown in size, but their community focus has not changed. By giving back to our local communities and funding business development, we help fuel economic growth. United Bank, member FDIC.
Is the cost of ink driving your profits down? Then listen up. Discount Ink Jet and Toner is here to help. Discount Ink Jet and Toner specializes in refilling ink jet and toner cartridges. Cut your ink costs by as much as 50% or more. Discount Ink Jet and Toner, located on 410 East Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia. 100% satisfaction guaranteed.
Just in Time Plumbing is a leading residential and commercial service company operated in Cleveland and Gaston counties. Family owned and operated for 6 years, they can handle any job from bathtub and vanity installation, new home construction plumbing, and commercial sinks to Rinnai tankless water heaters, sinkhole and waterline repairs, gas piping, and more. And they offer financing on all projects. The licensed service professionals have extensive experience and take pride in providing first-class service on time, on budget, 24 hours, 7 days a week. Call 704-600-8350 for your free estimate. Check out the website at justintimeplumbing.net. Just in Time Plumbing, every time. 107 South City Street, Kings Mountain. Plumbing problems? Well, if you're not an expert plumber, then we invite you to call the Expert Plumbers. That's Olmsted Plumbing in Forest City. Just call 828-245-7302. Recommended since 1973. From faucets to sinks to toilets, from sewer and drains to well pumps, from dishwashers to disposals to bathroom remodeling, residential and commercial, new homes too. Don't let your plumbing problems drive you plumb crazy. Call Olmsted Plumbing in Forest City. 828-245-7302 or visit the website at olmstedplumbing.com.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the guys.
Hey, welcome back.
And we're back.
Yeah.
And we're back.
Don't forget about
Friendship.
Yeah.
Friendship. Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, 190 Oak Street Extension in Forest City, North Carolina, 828-919-3001. Kick off your new year with a new Jeep Cherokee.
Terry, I'll let you and Tom hold that one.
Okay. All right. And then the other is Friendship
probably
Nissan.
our correct picks.
No.
Friendship Nissan, 156 Oak Street Extension in Forest City, North Carolina, 828-245-1661. Kick off your new year with a adventure in a Nissan Rogue, Terry.
Let me tell you something. Friendship is the key word there, and let
Let me
our
see that
friends
sheet back.
down it.
That's right.
Friendship really
Thank you,
gets you
Hunter.
a great ride.
Thank you, Hunter.
You're welcome, Tom. You know, I kind of thought of that. If they need anything,
Yeah.
any kind of copy, I mean, hey, guys, give us a call.
All right, so I know I'm making all kinds of noise over here in the corner. Terry, you and Tom can kind of share that sheet. I've only got two of these. This is my prediction. I'm here to pat myself on the back, Tom, on this one. Since y'all talk college, here's my NFL talk. These are my predictions from before the season. This year we added 2 playoff teams. Before the years, folks, the way we do it, you normally could, but before this year they added 2 playoff teams. On average, 6 teams were always missed the playoffs since the year before that was in the playoffs, and you had and so I always made the guys take some teams out and do it that way. And this year we did it, and then we had to add 2 more. So I can't find the sheet of everything. I'm gonna try to round it up the next couple weeks. I think this is what we did, but I don't have exactly what you guys went with. But as a group that we went with, that you guys went with as a group here. Now, what you're looking at, Terry, is my pick. So to pat myself on the back, of the 14 playoff teams,
She never does that, does he?
no, of the 14 playoff teams, Tom, I got 12 of them right. So pat myself on the back.
That's your head.
The ones I missed, I couldn't reach my back. The ones I missed were the Falcons. I had them in, and I had the Patriots in. Okay. I had the Bills out, missing by 1 game. Actually, a tiebreaker, I think, is what I had them on. No, I missed them by 1 game. And so I missed Bills and Pats. And then Falcons I missed. Had them in the playoffs. They were out. And then the team that got in, I missed the Eagles as well. So those are the new ins, new outs. So I only missed 2 new ins, new outs. So I picked the 49ers, Vikings, and Texans to miss the playoffs. I picked the Bucks, Rams, Steelers, Browns, and Colts to make the playoffs. They all made it. But here's what's the cool thing about it, Terry. In the AFC, I got 5 of the 7 seeds right. Overall, I got 8 of the 14 seeds right. Not playoff teams, seeds right.
Well, looks like the show's canceled.
Right.
Kevin's going to First Take next week.
Ask me about the NFL ones. I almost nailed them all.
I would never wish that upon him.
As far as
Terrible
picking the
network.
NFL stuff, I feel very comfortable with that. In fact, I'm gonna go through the standings here. Most of them I missed 1 or 2 games. I did miss 3 or 4 that were terrible. Buffalo, that was one I missed. I had them at 8 wins. I didn't have them bad. I just had them at not winning 13.
Disrespect.
Them in Miami, this division, I just missed all get out on that one. The Jets,
Except the Jets.
The Jets had 5 wins.
The one we were closest on, all of us, was Jacksonville.
Now
one. We gave them 1 or 2.
No.
So for you guys as a group, y'all had Bills at 11, Patriots 9, Dolphins 5, Jets 4. Okay. So then over in the AFC South, you guys had Titans 11 wins, Texans 9, Colts 7, Jacksonville Jaguars 0. It went Titans 11. I had Titans at 10. You guys had them 11. They won 11. Colts, you guys had them at 7. I had them at 9. They won 11. Texans, y'all guys had them at 9. I had them at 8. And then Jags, I had them at 2. And they got 1 win. Y'all had them at 0. So we split that one.
We did.
We all predicted 0. I couldn't remember which one.
We predicted
y'all had
0.
them at 0.
We predicted 0.
They weren't very good.
Listen, all I have to say, Jacksonville.
That's awesome.
Your 1 win came from the quarterback you're pushing out to replace Gardner Minshew. That's all I have to say. That's the only win that you guys had this season.
He actually played kind of well.
And it was game 1.
The Chiefs,
I want you to think about that. They won on a 15-game losing streak.
Just a little side. I wonder if Jacksonville will do something weird and not pick Lawrence and just go against the grain.
It's Jacksonville. You never know.
You guys were close because they had a 15-game losing streak.
They
so
did.
They're 1 game away from having a 16-game losing streak.
We predicted them 0. They won the first game.
Yeah, that's it. That is right. Yeah, they beat Phillip Rivers in the Colts.
At one point, the 1-15 Jacksonville Jaguars were undefeated
in first place.
In first place for the AFC South. So out west, you guys had 14 wins. I had 13 for the Chiefs. They had 14. For the Raiders, you guys had 9 wins. I had 7. They had 8. So we split that. Chargers, you guys had 3 wins. I had 6. They had 7. Broncos, I had 8. You guys had 5. They got 5. So you guys nailed that one. All right, over in the NFC. So the NFC East, of course, is just stupid. I had the Eagles of 10 wins, and you guys had the Eagles of 8. They ended up with 4.
Nice. And a tie.
Cowboys, we had at 9. Y'all had at 9. I had at 8. They ended up with 6. Giants, y'all had at 3. I had at 4. They ended up with 6. And the Washington, Maryland, Chesapeake, whatever football team, you guys had them at 4 wins. I had them at 6 wins. They had them at 7. Or they won 7. So that's where we ended up in the NFC East. So
playoffs.
That was just hot.
Did somebody say playoffs?
That was a lot of hot garbage there, Hunter. In the NFC North, I had Packers 10. You guys had them at 11. They ended up with 13, so we all underestimated them. I had Vikings 8. You had them at 10. They had 7. You guys had Bears at 6. I had them at 7. They ended up with 8 and snuck in the playoffs. And the Detroit Lions, y'all had them at 4. I had them at 6. And then Hunter and I eliminated them from
week 1.
My power poll in week 1 before the season started because, as always, the Detroit Lions never win or do anything, make playoffs. It's the easiest pick in sports. Before the season starts, Tom, pick Detroit not to win the Super Bowl.
You can, if that's a bet, I'd bet it.
No, I don't even pick them to win the Super Bowl. I don't even pick them to make the playoffs. That's how easy the bet is. And they got a quarterback who's going to finish top 10 and everything.
Yeah, I know. He was the fastest to get to 65,000 yards or something. Youngest, whatever.
Poor Matt Stafford.
Jesus, get him out.
How about out west? You guys had the Seahawks at 14 wins. I had them at 11. They ended up with 12. You guys had the Rams at 7 wins. I had them at 9. They ended up with 10. Arizona Cardinals, you guys had them at 7 wins. I had them at 6. They ended up with 8. And San Francisco, you guys had 10 wins. I had them out of the playoffs with 8. They ended up with 6 wins on the season. And finally, out in the NFC South, I had the Saints 11 wins. You had them at 13. They had 12, so we split that. Bucks, you guys had them at 13. I had them at 10. They got 11. And then Panthers, you guys had 4. I had 5. They had 5. And then Falcons, you guys had an 8. I had the Falcons at 9, so we both were kind of high on the Falcons. And for them to at least squeak into the playoffs or contend, and they went 4.
They gave away 2
and
games.
12.
They should have beat Tampa Bay and Dallas.
They'll never beat Dallas. They're not smart enough to beat Dallas.
Oh, God. Dallas ain't smart enough
Gotta
to
know
win.
the rules.
The only win that Dak Prescott won this year, Tom, was the Falcons not jumping on an onside kick.
Now, I know I predicted the Cardinals, but see, I was thinking Chicago Cardinals, and Chicago made it.
That's
So
what
that's actually accurate.
Accurate.
Chicago
That's very
Blackhawks.
accurate.
That's actually accurate.
Not at all.
Very actually accurate. Factually accurate.
All right, JP. Well, real quick. Well, almost time for another break, but here are my current Power Poll standings to win the Super Bowl. And as you see, I've already eliminated Washington and Chicago before this week started, so I don't feel. Does anyone want to pick any of them to win the Super Bowl?
No.
Hunter? No.
I want to
not
say
this year.
Chicago was 8,000 to 1.
Was that the bet?
If this
crazy.
is strictly upon just winning the Super Bowl, no.
Winning the Super Bowl.
Maybe winning a playoff
Super
game,
Bowl.
I would have said yes.
Super Bowl.
but-
This is the Super Bowl predictor poll. So like I said, I've already eliminated those from.
Well, you can go ahead and eliminate Indianapolis.
From actually, you ain't got no faith in Phillip Rivers and a top 10 defense.
No.
Terry, you gonna take that?
You'll be surprised when we pick.
Oh, so I've got Colts at 12, Browns at 11, Ravens at 10, Titans at 9, Rams at 8, Bucks at 7, Seahawks at 6, Bills at 5, Steelers at 4, Saints at 3, Packers at 2, and the Chiefs at 1. So some notes of that I wanted to go over before we take a break and we get into our picks and all that. Some things I wanted to let you guys info on. Let's look at this. These teams left. Are there only Lamar Jackson that I can look at is a quote unquote first quarterback? Am I correct on this?
Correct.
Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, Russell Wilson, maybe Tannehill, if you want to include him in there, and Trubisky are pretty decent scramblers. Is that correct?
They're your pocket, but they will go.
So there's 6 of those 4, so half the league. Then the other 7 are stand still for the most part. Baker moves around quite a bit, but for
And
the
a
most
quarterback
part,
on 1.5 legs.
But for the most part, every one of these quarterbacks still in the playoff can throw the ball. Lamar Jackson had 30-some passes to touchdowns and 10 interceptions last year. I don't know his exact numbers this year. The point I'm getting at is you have to be able to throw the ball in the NFL. And whatever you do, you can look at all these teams and other quarterbacks. You got to be able to do 2 things: play defense, and then also be able to throw the ball. You can't just, the running thing is neat, but for a quarterback, but it's not. It's like swing passes to the running back to me. It's a last ditch thing. So look at these teams. Kansas City's got quarterbacks 1. Green Bay's got a quarterbacks 1 championship. New Orleans, Pittsburgh, top 4 teams have all got 1. The only one that don't, Hunter, in the top 8 is your Bills at 5. And they're hot. They're playing good. Not too many weaknesses on the team. I like them. They've got good fan base, good energy. I've got them at 5 right now. I can't put him higher than that. Russell Wilson's at 6. Brady's at 7. Goff's been to a Super Bowl at 8. And then you've got Tannehill, Lamar, Baker, Phillip Rivers, Trubisky, and Alex Smith there at the end.
Half of Alex Smith.
And he's already got the Bears and Redskins eliminated.
Yes, they were eliminated before the playoffs started. So bye.
But I will give y'all a lot of credit. Congratulations to Cleveland. It's been so long since y'all been there. And congratulations to Washington. It's been so long. Dallas has been to the Super Bowl. I mean, not to Super Bowl, but to the playoffs before y'all have.
2015.
But congratulations, y'all, for making it to the playoffs.
What time does Dallas play this weekend, Terry?
Yep. Thanks.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, congratulations.
So, Tom, this will be Anna's first playoff game.
I mean, really. If you're a Cleveland fan, you have to be happy because y'all never see this. And I do understand stuff like that because I have been to high school football playoff times when people think their team is good and then all of a sudden another team comes in from an upper league and beats them and knocks them out. And I have stood there in the press box and watched people who really, I thought this was our year. This team is good and that we're going to be out in round 1, But, hey, I understand every bit of that. I mean, when you go for a long time without being in the playoffs, like Dallas, it becomes old. I mean, really, it becomes old, and then you want to win a game while you're there. I mean, you don't want to get there and all of a sudden get knocked out in round 1 because, why make it if you're going to get bumped right out as soon as you get there? I mean, I understand every bit of that.
Because
I am a fan.
Make the playoffs.
Yeah, I am a fan. You know what I'm saying?
Hunter, was that the backhanded compliment of the year?
Nobody Nobody
in week 2,
thinks
in week
like
1
that.
of January, did we
Listen,
just get the
listen,
backhanded
nobody
compliment of the year?
I don't want to go to the playoffs. If I'm
Listen.
Nobody thinks like that.
Washington
Not a
played
single
Philadelphia to get into the playoffs.
He's
I
so
said I
silly.
don't care if we win or lose, but if we're going to try and get to the playoffs, we might as well.
There's only one way not to win the Super Bowl, guaranteed, is not to make the playoffs. So don't give me this.
Yeah,
well,
you
I'm
have
gonna
the
go,
opportunity. You
I'm
got to
gonna
make
get
it.
beat in the first. No,
You're right. You
No
got to have the
playoff team.
opportunity.
Do you want to
No
know,
playoff team thinks
Tom, do you want to know why I was like, we might as well try and make the playoffs? Because it kept Dallas, Giants, and Philadelphia out.
That's right.
Well, enjoy it because next year will be different.
No, it won't. Not until you get rid of Jerry Jones.
He's already said he's going to step down from GM, so we'll see.
Yeah, he's still there. Don't matter.
He said that.
That's what he said
When did he say that?
this past week.
I ain't seen. I ain't
Said he's
seen
thought
that.
about it.
Oh God, that is.
Thought about it. Okay, now the truth comes out.
There's a reason I'm sitting here in a brown shirt and a Browns hat
Listen,
right now, Terry.
and I'm not wishing this, but that man could have a stroke and could barely speak, and he still wouldn't give up that position.
No. My money, my team.
But we
That's the way
did.
he thinks.
But Dallas did do the right thing this week. They shipped Mike Nolan away because there's no way you can go from a top 6 defense in the NFL to the worst in 1 year if it's not your coaching. And we did get rid of him. And I was like, that was a nonchalant. That was going to have to happen. So we did do that.
Who are they going to bring in to be the coordinator?
I think they need to go back to the guys they had the year before. But they're not going to come back probably. But I would go back because your defense was – we lost Byron Jones to Miami, and that was it.
Terry, they haven't had a defensive coordinator under 70 years old.
I don't care.
In I can't remember the last.
Dave Campo for a while.
Right. I can't remember the last defensive coordinator that wasn't like geriatric in Dallas. Like every single one of them. Rob Marinelli, they get him off the scrap heaps. Just to
but
play
look
defense.
what he did.
Did what?
I would go get him.
I put it this way, Terry. Your quarterback has 1 playoff win in 5 years.
Well, people
Baker
on
Mayfield
offense,
might beat the Steelers tomorrow and have just as many in one game.
When we
That's
pick,
on it.
when we
gotta
pick
come
up
back,
Caleb
man.
Farley coming up in this draft.
Well, you might need him. A lot of people need him. All right, JP, let's take a quick break. We'll come back and make our picks in the playoffs on ktcbroadcasting.com.
When is being different a good thing? Well, at Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram in Forest City, our customers say we're different. Look at our Google reviews. They say we're different too. We have the region's only non-commissioned sales force. We use no haggle, clear choice pricing, and we have the only lifetime warranty with no time or mileage limits. When our customers leave, they say, that was a great experience. And that's where we're most different. That's Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram, and we're located in Forest City.
McKinley's Home Furnishings in Eastridge Mall specializes in home furnishings, and they cater to all the seasons inside your home as well as the outside. They have the best prices around. They have flags, doormats, metal signs, and every kind of home decor you can think of. Hours of business, Monday through Thursday, 10 to 8 p.m., Friday through Saturday, 9 to 9 p.m., and Sundays, 12 to 6 p.m. McKinley's Home Furnishings, 246 North New Hope Road in Gastonia. Like them on Facebook.
Victoria Grainer is this month's McDonald's WHS What's Up Shopper Scholar Athlete of the Month. Victoria is a senior at Shelby High School and is the daughter of Sherry and Chris Grainer. She plays center midfield on the varsity soccer team and also runs cross country. Victoria has a 4.72 grade point average with advanced courses including world history, statistics, and literature, along with several courses through Cleveland Community College. Her extracurricular activities include club soccer, Young Life, National Honor Society, Beta Club, Student Council, Peer Group Connection, and French Honor Society. She's a member of the Central Methodist Church and is involved in youth activities. She is also a member of the Junior Civitans, does a tutoring program, and a Charity League volunteer. After graduation, Victoria plans to attend law school and pursue her dreams of being an attorney. The McDonald's KTC Broadcasting What'sUpShopper.com Scholar Athlete Award is to recognize a student athlete, not only for accomplishments in athletics, but also for overall achievements in the classroom and for overall school and community citizenship.
Your local train comfort specialist, Roland Black Heating and Cooling. has been serving Gaston County with quality-built Trane heated and air conditioning systems for over 45 years. Hurry and call today to check out the great deals on Trane systems offered by Roland Black Heating and Cooling. Whether it's commercial or residential, Trane is there for you. Ask about your new, super efficient Trane XV20i today. Call Roland Black for all the details, 704-865-1375, or go online at rolandblack.com and request an appointment. Again, call 704-865-1375. Roland Black Heating and Cooling, 501 East Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia. Remember, it's hard to stop a train.
Man, it's already after 8 o'clock. Where in the world are we going to get a good meal this late?
Well, at Hillbilly's Barbecue and Steaks, of course.
I thought they were closed at 8.
No. Now they're open till 9 p.m. Monday through Thursday until 9:30 p.m. Friday and Saturday nights. Plus, they're open Sundays for lunch till 3 p.m.
Let's go.
Hillbilly's Barbecue and Steaks, now with a new location at 305 South Main Street in Lowell. Serving the area since 1989. Online at hillbillysbbqsteaks.com and see their page at whatsupshopper.com. Buy 3 tires and get 1 free at Butler's Tire and Auto Service in Kings Mountain. For a limited time, when you buy Westlake or Pantera or Blackline tires, you'll get 1 free. And it includes a 1-year road hazard warranty with a premium alignment purchase. Plus, you'll find tires by Goodyear, Dunlap, and Kelly. And be sure to ask about their $99 brake special. Plus, inspections and alignments by certified mechanics with friendly service. The new Butler's Tire and Auto, 404 East King Street in Kings Mountain, right across from KFC.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with the crew.
And we're back here. For the rest of the show, we're starting to try and wrap things up a little bit. We've got NFL picks. Bum, 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 bum. Wait, can't do that. Might get DMCA'd. NFL picks. We got 3 games today, 3 games tomorrow. It is wild card weekend. We got a game at 1, I think a game at 4:30, and a game at 8:30, 8 or 8:30. But we got football all day today. We actually got 3 days in a row of football, 2 of NFL, 1 of a national championship on Monday night. Football, unfortunately, gentlemen, and at the professional and college level is coming to a close. It's sad to see, but we'll be back.
Yeah.
We got big games today. Of course, the 1 o'clock game is one that some people believe is going to be a whole lot closer than what it is. If I'm not mistaken, I think Vegas opened it up at 8. But I think I checked ESPN recently, and their spread was at least 6.5. And I'm talking about the Buffalo Bills hosting a playoff game, the Indianapolis Colts. And it's good to see that the mayor, governor, whatever it is, of New York has said that Buffalo can, in fact, have fans. So Bills Mafia, for the first time this year, is going to be at the game. And would you know it, it's a playoff game.
1,800 people.
Is it only 1,800 people? Wow, 1,600, something like that. It's a certain amount of people. Regardless, you can. It's what's funny is when you go on some of these and they show how much ticket prices are going for. As low as $10,000 to go to this game. I mean, that's just a little bit of pocket change to some people.
Who's got $10,000 in Buffalo? Very few people.
It's $10,800
for a Colts Bills game.
27 degrees.
I'll be watching it from my living
room. Would you pay
couch.
$10,000 to go sit in 27-degree weather?
No.
I don't think I would either. No. I don't.
If I got James Harden money.
Well, I mean, if it was
legitimately a game.
I was going to say, if it's legitimately pocket change, maybe. But that's not pocket change for the normal person. I don't know how they even get away with listing something like that.
That's what I'm
saying. Tickets as low as $10,000.
$10,000.
I think wouldn't you just be happy that people show up to your game in general?
Well, the Bills aren't selling them for $10,000. The Bills sold them for. I'm sure the Bills gave them to their season ticket holders
probably
lottery, and then those people are selling them for $10,000.
You want to come to this game?
All right, over unders 51. Bills are favored by 6.5 points. Tommy, who do you got? Real quick, before we pick, I want to do. I shouldn't have went. I should have did that. I'm sorry, Tom. I shouldn't have did that. It's my fault because I did want to talk about something real quick. I want to do pros and cons of each team on winning the Super Bowl. So Colts, great defense right now. Pretty decent defense. Got Phillip Rivers. That's a con and a pro, right?
He keeps both teams in it.
All right, so why would you pick the Bills to win it? Young quarterback, I don't know. He's one of the, of the 6 that haven't been to a Super Bowl yet. You've got 8 guys in here that have been to a Super Bowl. This is stacked with people that's been to a Super Bowl. Rams defense now is number 1 in the NFL, so that's always a great sign to pick some team. Their quarterback's been to a Super Bowl. Their problem is they got to go on the road. It's hard to really win on the road in the playoffs more than once.
Seattle's only lost one time at home.
This year. But Seattle's problem is, Terry, if you'll see on my sheet, they are the 15th ranked defense. Buffalo's defense isn't that good either. They're 16th. Tennessee has the worst defense in the playoffs. Our Browns have the 2nd worst defense in the playoffs. The Bucs have lost 5 games this year, guys. They've been blown out twice by the Saints, but the other 3 losses are a combined 7 points. You've got Tom Brady on your team. He wins close games. Now, with that said, they're 1-5 against playoff teams. All of their losses are against the playoff teams. He's 10-0 this year against non-playoff teams, 1-5 against playoff teams. I thought next year would be their year. They go into Washington, who's got an excellent defense, Hunter. But quarterback, you said a half-legged, one-legged quarterback, peg-legged quarterback out there.
Not even taking first-team reps this week.
Right now. Or a Heineken. So you got 2 choices.
It's gingery. I like it.
They I'm not sure this is y'all's year. Y'all may be a quarterback away. You've been saying that all year.
Deshaun, throw the house at him. Deshaun.
So out in Baltimore, looking at that situation, your quarterback is a running quarterback. They tend to don't win Super Bowls. But they're playing the Titans. Everybody at this table's got the same number of playoff wins as Lamar Jackson does. Titans beat the Ravens last year. However, Titans defense, I just told y'all, is the worst in the playoffs right now. So is that going to be able to stop the Ravens this week and this offense? I want to make sure I get the Ravens defense right on this because they're favored by 3 on the road. Baltimore's defense is number 2 in the NFL, a half a point worse than the Rams. So there you go on that. Look at the Bears. Got a Tar Heel quarterback. You're not winning anything. That's all you need to know about them. Saints, they've been snake bit the last few years. I've picked them to win Super Bowl every year the past few years. I may still do it this year, but however, Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees have not been to a Super Bowl in a decade. And we pick them every year. Somebody does.
Imagine if Green Bay would have used their draft pick
on
or
a
number
real
1
player
pick to get somebody to help.
Imagine if Washington would have picked a real player last year instead of Dwayne Haskins.
No, last year we picked Chase Young. It was
this year, y'all would have picked
the year prior.
Year before that, y'all would have picked a real player besides Dwayne Haskins.
You can't.
We did. We traded back up and got Montez Sweat.
You can't totally miss on.
No, not first round. It don't even matter what position. And then finally, Browns and Steelers. Tom's gonna be tough winning without a head coach
and offensive coordinator
and
a bunch of DBs
and a bunch of DBs.
It's gonna be tough.
The Steelers may have secretly one of the best defenses, if not the best defense in the NFL, at 19.5 points a game. They're 3rd. Washington's 4th. Saints are 5th, guys. Last time Saints had a top 10 defense, Drew Brees did win the Super Bowl. Saints are 5th. Washington's 4th. Miami 6th. New England 7th. Tampa 8th. 49-54 Super Bowl winners have been top 12. Giants 9. Colts 10. Chiefs 11 and Cardinals 12. Packers on the outside looking in. Packers 13, Bears 14, and Seahawks 15 in your defenses. So I wanted to give you guys some of that information before we make these very important picks here. Hunter's
very educated picks. Very educated.
All right, here we go. Back to Tommy.
So it's back to me. Colts
in Buffalo. Buffalo favored by 6.5 at home.
Even though the line is trending down, that means Vegas knows something. But I'm still going with the Bills. They're at home. Allen's playing lights out. I know the Colts have a good defense. Phillip Rivers, what happened to him last time he went on the road and played a playoff team in Pittsburgh? Pittsburgh on a 4-game losing streak. They go in there, they lose the game. I think it'll happen again, and I do think they will cover the spread.
Terry Reinhardt.
Colts get the lead at the start. They always do. But then it's up to Phillip Rivers not to mess plays up in the second half like he's been doing lately. But I got a feeling that the Colts is going to come out of here with a victory. the 6.5 points, they will cover that. They'll win the game. So that's all I got to say.
Dome team, outside, 27-degree weather in Buffalo. Actually have fans now. The only difference is Stephon Diggs and Cole Beasley, as of right now, are listed as questionable. But by game time, they're going to play. It's a playoff game. There's no way that they don't play. I'm taking the Bills because, I mean, you said it. Phillip Rivers in the second half. I'm trusting Josh Allen more than Phillip Rivers.
What happened last time they went on the road against
I've seen Phillip Rivers multiple times in a road playoff game, whether it's New England, Pittsburgh. They go and play, whether he was with the Chargers. I can only think the same thing with the Colts. They're going to get beat. So
do they cover?
Who? Buffalo? 6.5. Yes. I think it could be a 10-point game.
Okay. So, folks, normally on average, the way this worked out before, but now we got 6 games instead of 4, so we'll have to break it out even more. The law of averages on these games was there's always one upset, and there's always one blowout. But we've added 2 games to it. So that makes it more likely even more. We're going to have one upset at least this weekend, and one team, if not probably 2 with the 6 games now, are going to get blown out.
Mm-hmm.
So keep that in mind when looking at these games. And if you hear somebody say, well, I think they're going to win, Hunter says Bill's going to win by 10, somebody's going to blow somebody out this weekend you're not thinking. All right, I've got Bills in this game. I'm not picking Phillip Rivers outside in Buffalo, 27 degrees. That's pretty much the main and only reason. If they win, I'm not saying I don't think he can. I wouldn't be surprised. If I'm betting on it, I wouldn't pick it.
I saw what Josh Allen did to a better defense in Miami than the Colts. He picked them apart. I can only expect him to do the same against a good defense in Indianapolis. But I understand why people are probably betting and allowing the line to get closer for the Colts is because they do run the ball very good and they play good defense.
So the Colts are giving up 23 points a game, which is right at NFL average. Bills, however, are giving up 23. They're giving up the same thing. It was just about half a point more, 1 point more a game. So evenly matched up as far as defensive-wise. Whose offense do you trust there? All right, let's go back the reverse way. How about Rams at Seahawks, Hunter?
Mm-hmm.
Seahawks favored by 3 at home without the 12th man, I guess.
Yes, they're still not there.
There's no prices listed here. So Rams and Seahawks, 440 today. Over-under's only 42 in this game. Rams have the number 1 defense.
Yeah.
Seahawks are 15th.
Problem with this game is I still don't know the status of Jared Goff. I don't know how much he is going to play.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the backup is going to take most of the reps. That backup's only played 1 game, so hell, I don't even know his name, to be honest. But if Jared Goff played,
I thought Kurt Warner was the Rams' backup.
Okay, no. If Jared Goff played, I would say I would highly consider the Rams to upset the Seahawks. They split on the season. They both won one game against each other. The Seahawks offense has struggled. They've put up less than 250 passing yards like the past 2 or 3 games, and against the number 1 defense and a shutdown corner like Jalen Ramsey, it just don't work. So, but because Goff is up in the air, I'm going to take the Seahawks to win this game.
It says Goff feels good. Goff ready to play, but nothing official yet. Yeah, his backup is John Wofford, who I enjoyed watching play. That dude, he played hard. I don't know if you guys
He probably did play really hard, but it's playoff football right now.
Right.
And I know technically that could have been a playoff game whether or not the Rams or the Cardinals got in last week. But
last time they went to a backup, they got an MVP and 3 Super Bowls.
Cover spread.
3, yeah, I think Seattle wins by 3.
Tom, Seahawks.
Skip and Terry.
I mean, are we going in?
Okay.
Let me do what I want to.
Okay, I'm sorry. I got the Seahawks. They're tough at home. And as I said, Goff's up in the air. I think, because they play well at home and they have Russell Wilson, and I think the Seahawks are going to get it done.
And Hunter
cover spread.
Yeah, I think they'll cover that 3.
Terry?
I got also the Seahawks, but I don't think they cover spread.
You think it's like a 1-point game?
21-20.
Look at that.
21-20.
Oh, that's a hell of a pick, Terry. That's like you picked the narrowest thing you could have picked.
Yeah.
Was the 3-point cover the spread, not cover the spread, Seahawks win. Man, this is maybe one of the toughest ones for me this weekend. and it shouldn't be probably. You got questions at quarterback. I don't trust the Rams on the road in Seattle at all. They're 4-4 away is the Rams' record away. Seahawks 7-1 at home. If the 12th crap man was in there, I think the spread might be 6 if they had a home crowd. I'm not, but again, there's always one upset, and you got to find it. That's the secret in finding the upset this weekend. But I'm going to go, for the time being, unless I find another upset, I'm going to go Seattle holds at home. I trust Pete Carroll and them way more than McVay and their gradient numbers on their chest, whatever that is. All right, Bucks in Washington. Tom is 1-5 versus playoff teams this season.
Dang, Tom, I didn't know you were that bad.
Yeah, he's 10-0 versus non-playoff teams. Now,
Yeah.
Do you consider Washington a playoff team or a non-playoff team?
Washington is obviously
Terry?
a playoff team.
And when you look at those numbers, how would you put Washington in which category? Are they going to be in that 1-5 group or the 10-0 group?
Probably
the Bucks?
that 1-5 group always covers teams that are above 500.
Yeah, right. That's true. So they're in the 10-0 group then, probably. So Hunter, Terry's going to start to pick on this one.
Oh, okay.
Of course.
What's
you
the
haven't started
spread?
one yet. The spread is 8 even. 31 degrees in Landover, Maryland, as the Landover football team hosts the Tampa team.
So it's even.
Yes, 8 even. Not 8.5, 8 even.
Well,
the over-under
yeah.
is 44.5. That helps you all.
I like Washington's defense. I think they've done a great job there, but I just don't think they've got enough. I mean, they should have lost to Philadelphia. If Hurts would have stayed in there, Philadelphia would have beat them, and the Giants would be playing this game right now. But, this right here, Brady's done it too many times, y'all. It's kind of hard to go against a guy who goes in there every year with New England and the athletes he has there. This team, their defense is in the top 10, and it's going to be kind of hard for him not. So I'm going Bucks to win.
Well, with that said, real quick, before we go any further, Tom, Alex Smith is 6-1 this season. 5-1 this season.
A healthy Alex
Washington's
Smith,
2-7.
As
Everyone
healthy as
else
he can be.
is everyone else. But again, what that proves kind of a little bit with Smith is it's not like his arm is. You think his arm ain't better than Dwayne Haskins, is it? I would guarantee Haskins probably got a cannon.
I'll tell you something. Dwayne had all the physical attributes. I swear it was right here.
But from playing the position, knowing the plays is way more important than almost being able to throw the ball sometimes. Because if I don't hand off right or I turn the wrong way or go whatever, and I think that's what Alex Smith is doing, is putting them in the right position. Whether he makes the play on a blitz or something or not is different. But they are 5-1 with him quarterbacking. So, Tom, are you picking the Redskins or Washington, whatever's?
Well, I've got
to upset the Buccaneers.
I've got to pick an upset, and every time I've picked against Tom Brady, he has shown me up, hadn't me? I've been on bad picks.
That's it. Might as well go ahead and make another.
So let's go ahead and pick against Tom Brady one more time, and say that Washington defensive front gives him a hard time, and that's one thing Terry didn't mention is Tom Brady is not good against pressure. He's not good,
but he's going to get rid of the ball so fast.
He's not good against pressure, and I think Washington can put the pressure on him. Washington's at home. Rivera's a good coach. I mean, what a great story, and him overcoming his battle with cancer. So I think, and Alex Smith, what a great story.
Isn't he the only other coach that's made the playoffs with a losing record?
Probably.
And then he
Carolina.
won. Then he won a playoff game with it. So he's been in this
Pete
position
Carroll,
before.
The Seahawks had a losing record a few years back and got in, but I'm going with Washington.
Bad pick, Tom.
Well, if I have to pick an upset and I have to look at all the rest of the games, this is going to be my upset game. And it's not just because I'm a Washington fan and I'd like to see him win. We do have the components that it takes to beat what Tom Brady has. Tom Brady struggled with the Giants in the Super Bowl those years ago, and what did the Giants have? They had a great defense.
What's
and
his
they
record
got
against
him
the
off
NFC
his
East,
spot.
Hunter?
They said 1-3 in the 1-3 in the playoffs.
All of his Super Bowl's losses are against the East, aren't they?
Yeah, well, he's lost 3. Yeah, was it 6-3? Yep, 2 to the Giants and 1 to the Eagles. He has beat the Eagles though, but this is neither the Giants nor the Eagles. I think we do have the best front four in football, and when you have a 43-year-old quarterback I don't really think he wants to get hit by those young guns that are coming for him. Montez Sweat on one side, 6'8", runs a 4.4. I'll just remind everybody, and Chase Young on the other side. I could see this game seriously because the defense is so good for Washington, and that we can't score. 17-10, 17-13 in a win. But I'm gonna take Washington to win this. I gotta find an upset. It was either gonna be this or one of the games tomorrow.
How fast you say that guy runs, Hunter?
6 foot. He's 6'8", runs a 4.4.
And that's 40 yards, right?
Yeah.
So if it takes 3 seconds for Brady to throw it, is it going to take him? How long is it going to take him to go 8 yards?
There is somebody in his way, Kevin.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what to say.
That's my point. That's my point. If Brady's going to be throwing it within 3 seconds.
I'm just saying, it's going to be tough for Tom not to feel pressure. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention one of his offensive linemen was the one that they drafted this year, so he's a rookie, and he's going to be going against not just a rookie in Chase Young, who looks like the best defensive rookie player out there, but 3 other first-round picks on that defensive line. It's gonna be tough, and we also have we can sit there and talk about the defensive line all day. The defense as a whole is good. Our secondary is very good. The problem is, like Terry said, we just can't score. That's going to be the problem. But I think our defense can keep us in it. And I said the score might be 17-10, but I never said the offense will score it. We might get a pick. We might get a fumble. That's all it takes. That's how we beat Pittsburgh.
So Tampa is one, I think I saw, and I could be totally wrong, is one of the top, if not the top, blitzing team in the NFL.
Alex is going to have a rough day.
Yes.
He can't move.
So
he can't.
Just going to kind of.
I think Tom Brady's going to get sacked 5 times.
He might.
I can not finish the game.
Listen, this game's going to go one of two ways. It's going to be close or it's going to be a blowout.
Here's how I got to playoffs. You're right, Hunter. This game could be very close for a blowout. Wouldn't surprise me. Looking at the NFC playoffs, AFC playoffs, trying to break it down. Who's got the advantage? Who's got what? You know, Kansas City's 14-2 and everything. But Mahomes hadn't played that well the last few weeks. We'll see. I don't trust the Ravens. I don't trust the Titans. In the AFC, you know, the Bills, I almost trust them more than anybody, but their quarterback hadn't done anything yet. He hasn't made it there yet, but you have to be the first. There's always your first.
You got to
time.
do it eventually.
In the NFC, Rodgers and Breeze haven't been there in 10 years. Brady hadn't been in the NFC ever.
But he's been in almost every Super Bowl for the past 6 years.
So no Washington is going to make it. No Bears are going to make it. So that leaves who else?
He's got a little friend.
Rams.
Mm-hmm.
So
looking ladybug, isn't it?
With the Saints being top 5 defense, Drew Brees this year, they're number 2. The way I see this going, looking at the seeds, is Tampa's going to win and have to go to Green Bay. I think they can beat them. I don't think they can beat the Saints. They don't want nothing part of the Saints. They got to hope the Saints get beat in their first game, or today or this week or next week. Because I think Bucks are in the Super Bowl if the Saints get beat. If not, I got Saints in the Super Bowl. So I'm going to go Bucks winning this game, getting out of Washington. Hunter, you guys got a chance, but
we got a fight. You can look at it as a fighter's chance. All we got to do is get one good hit.
Terry, here's who the Washingtons beat this year: the Eagles, Cowboys
twice,
the Bengals, and the 49ers, and then one win against Pittsburgh. Did Roethlisberger play that game?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. That was when they were undefeated.
Yeah.
So,
but in that
so y'all
game,
have one good win on the whole year.
In that game, Pittsburgh was up 14-0. So
and guess what? Clamp down defense.
If Tampa Bay gets up 14-0, y'all beat because their defense is one of the elite.
All right, let's go into Sunday's game. Sunday at 1:00, Ravens and Titans. This may be the most evenly matchup of the week. Baltimore favored by 3 on the road. Tickets as low as $185 in Nashville at 44 degrees. Looking at this matchup, Titans are the worst defense in the playoffs, and the Ravens have the second best defense in the playoffs. Titans, of course, have Henry. The Ravens, of course, have Lamar Jackson. Does either team need to throw a pass in this game, or will there be more passes or more punts in this game?
The Tennessee pass defense is not very good, so I think Lamar Jackson.
I don't think anything on Tennessee's defense is any good.
They're not very good. And as much as I hate Baltimore,
This is technically an
What's the
upset
spread?
too, seeding wise.
Yeah.
If you pick Baltimore,
It's an upset seating wise, but Baltimore's the favorite on the road by 3. Over under's 54.5.
you would just most upsets we say lower seed beating the higher seed, but this is just a case they both are 11-5.
Mhm.
So
Tennessee's going to have to control the football, and they can with that running game. But I just think that Baltimore's got too much. I think Baltimore wins the game and they cover.
think about this. If this Ravens were at home, technically that would be like a 6-point spread.
Yeah.
Right.
Because home team usually gets
Probably,
3,
at least.
and Baltimore's favored on the road.
Terry, what you got?
I'm just like Tom. I think the Ravens will win plus cover the spread against the Titans.
I don't want to pick the Ravens. I don't. But if you look at it, and defense wins championships, but Titans are going to struggle. And it's only because I like Ryan Tannehill. I think he's really slept on since he's gotten to Tennessee. He plays really good. You asked if either team's going to need to throw a pass. Yes, Tennessee is going to need to throw a pass because Baltimore is the second best defense in the league. You can't just come out there and be a one-trick pony. So, you know what? I think he gets over the hump, and it would be nice to see him do it. Baltimore wins. I'm going to give Lamar Jackson his first playoff win.
Not so fast, my friend. I was going to make the exact point that he will not get his first playoff win because last year Tennessee stomped him into the ground. He's a running quarterback that doesn't do well in the playoffs. They don't. And they've already gotten beat by the Titans this year already. So I don't see anything in advantage for Baltimore other than the good defense. However, Terry, what stops a good defense more than anything? How about a 6'5", 250-pound running back running through it, right? Nothing will break a good defense's heart like a big man running through it. I'm going to go Tennessee at home on the win. Nashville will party tomorrow.
They cover the spread?
Well, if they win, they covered, yeah.
Yeah. Was yours cover the spread? Huh?
Baltimore, yes.
I think so.
All right, next game, 4 o'clock in the Dome in New Orleans. Is everybody picking Mitchell Trubisky to beat Drew Brees this week?
No.
Terry?
Crazier things have happened to the Saints in the playoffs.
And I know how the Saints blow stuff. I've seen them for the last few years. Just when you think they're going to win, then something happens at the very end that costs them.
Saints favored by 10, over under is 47.
Ooh, Saints favored by 10.
Tickets as low as $450.
I'll tell you what we're going to do.
Bears cover.
I'll just sit at the house and watch it.
It's 10. The Bears win on the road in New Orleans.
I'm going to be honest, Terry.
Did you just say the Bears are going to beat New Orleans?
Be nice if you're right.
I'm going to pull this up right here.
You know, it would
We're
be,
not even going bad.
We're
Not even going bad picks. That's a terrible pick.
Okay.
Terrible pick.
Keep that on there for
of
next
all
week.
the picks that we made this week, that's the worst.
You got to have an upset. That's my pick.
That's the worst one, Terry. Maybe of all time. JP, would you pick the Bears to beat the Saints in New Orleans?
You're asking me
Just say
a sports question
Just say yes.
about football.
Or no.
What was the question?
Will
yes
the
or no.
Bears
Just say yes or
beat
no.
the Saints in New Orleans?
Well, when you look at it, a Bear could probably beat the Saints, but in personal, I'm going with New Orleans.
There you go.
I was about to say Hunt.
New Orleans.
I mean, JP, you go to church.
I'm going with New Orleans.
God commanded the man bear.
What in the world are you talking about?
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing. All right. Who
cares about the man bear?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's our picks across the board. All right. Last game of the weekend.
Oh, y'all took the Saints?
Yeah.
Yes, I'll take the Saints.
Yeah, he didn't ask me.
Oh, Joe cover?
I said, is anybody picking?
Was
Nobody
it
said
10?
no. Tom, you
No.
want to take the Bears?
I'm not saying
No.
the Saints cover.
I was going to say the Saints will not cover that.
Yes, I agree with Tom. They will not cover. I think
Bears
Chicago
got a
can
good
keep it
defense.
close.
They can keep it close.
Saints might score 50 on them this week. No, I don't know. I'm just
They're not
messing
going
with
to
you.
score 50 on them. You sound like Terry now.
Why not? The Bills just scored 50 on the number 1 defense. Why can't the Saints
I think
score
the Dolphins started making some
whoever
business
the
after they
Bears
got
is?
down. They started making some business decisions. I'm sure.
All right, Brownies.
Yeah, even Matt Barkley looked good coming in there.
Yeah.
First playoffs in 18 years. Tom, I saw somebody yesterday said that Baker is playing for his job this weekend.
It's ridiculous.
Are we still on this?
Yes.
You haven't made the playoffs in 18 years. You draft someone number 1. The defense is 21st in the league. He's out without his number one wide receiver, no coaches, and we're still. I wonder if this quarterback can lead us to the playoffs.
And his TD to int ratio is off the charts.
Now, Tom, if he was
his
in the
first
NFC
3-year stats are comparable to some of the best quarterbacks in history.
If they were in the
I mean,
NFC
it's
East,
time to
what
leave
would the
kid
Browns'
alone.
record this year be?
I mean, leave the kid alone. I mean, good Lord.
Does he win the game?
Does he win the game? Well, I really, it's
The
not
backs
fair.
are up
It's
against
not,
the wall
it's
this
not
week.
fair for me to make this pick right now because I don't know if Denzel Ward's coming back. If Denzel Ward comes back, now you have somebody that can play with Claypool a little bit. They need to get some of their other defensive backs because, Harrison's out. Sendejo's just coming back. Ward, we don't know. He's a question mark. Like Harrison's out. So, I mean, it's just hard to gauge right now. And I think last minute the NFL might come out and postpone this game. But because I'm a homer, I'm going with a homer pick because nobody's respecting Cleveland this week. I'm going to go with Cleveland with the upset over the Steelers, where they haven't won in Pittsburgh.
Cleveland against the world.
They have not won in Pittsburgh
What's the
in
spread?
17 years. 6.
Yeah. Well, no, this one said 7.5.
Yeah, it's gone up because of, nobody from Cleveland.
Bad pick, Tom.
It's 7.5. Tickets as low as $473. 41 degrees. So go ahead, Terry. What you got in this game?
Well, I mean, you had the Browns that beat them last week, and now you got to play the real team. How can you expect you to come out here and play all their starters back?
Well, you act like Cleveland had all their starters for their game, which they didn't, Terry. I mean, you act like we had all we
I
had
think
a bunch of
Pittsburgh's
guys
like
out
7-1 at home. So yeah, you go Steelers, man. The Steelers are going to show up. They'll. I don't know whether they'll cover the 7.5. I think Cleveland can give them, but you're also up against Ben Roethlisberger that y'all cannot beat anyway.
I'm telling you.
So I mean, there's another notch in your back.
They may bring in Rudolph to throw the deep ball. On
30 to 24 Steelers.
I'm just going to keep it simple. One team has all their coaches, the other team doesn't. I'm taking the Steelers.
The Steelers have lost 4 of their last 5 games.
Mm-hmm.
The only one they won was a 4-point win at
But you're also playing the Browns
against Phillip Rivers,
who beat you last week.
You also
the win before that was a 5-point win. So in the last 6 weeks, they've won 2 games by a combined score of 9 points.
They should have lost the game against the Colts.
Should have. They came back to win it.
Right.
Like Ben is like what 23-2 against the Browns.
So this is how we do this. We always talk about going into the playoffs, who's hot, who's not, and the Steelers aren't. So I'm in a rock and a hard place on this one. I would have picked the Browns to beat about anybody, but I've always been a big not necessarily a big fan as much as Duke can play. And Steelers defense is 3rd in the NFL, 18.9 points a game. No, that's Ravens. Pittsburgh is 19.5. Tom, we're giving up 26 a game. That's a whole touchdown a game more. I've been saying they'll be successful in the playoffs once they get a stud defense. They get that Browns defense going, they're going to be really good. They're 11-5 without a stud defense. And folks, I'm going to say this as nice as I can because we're on Saturdays and I can't cuss. The kicker is horrible.
He didn't miss last week.
Well, God. Tom's been passing out participation awards, so I'll tell you what all day.
Did he? True or false? True or false?
True or false? LaMelo Ball almost had a triple-double last night.
Well, now we're talking about LaMelo Ball.
He's going to the Hall of Fame. Why are we patting the guy for not missing last week?
Got nothing to do with nothing. All I said was, did Parkey miss a kick last week?
You know what he did last week? He almost cost them the game by being so bad they didn't even let him kick one time, didn't they?
It would have been like a 55
If that's a regular kicker, though, he kicks the field goal, at least goes for it. Instead, they're going for it on 4th down. He is going to be the reason they lose tomorrow night. I want him to win a playoff game, but if I would have picked him against the Ravens, Titans, Colts, maybe even Bills, I don't think I can do it against the Steelers at home with a bad kicker, with no coaches. It's just not good.
It's going to make it that much sweeter.
But go Browns!
It's going to make
go Dogs!
Hopefully you're on bad picks.
I know. I'm volunteering for bad picks next week, so I'm going Steelers. Smart pick. Looking at the playoffs, Here's the thing about the Steelers. This is why it makes it so tough. Guys, they have the worst run defense in the NFL. I mean, run offense in the NFL. You can't. So I can't pick them to win it. That's my thing. I want to pick them to be in the Super Bowl.
No.
But without that, how can
the
you?
1 and
How
2
can
seeds?
you?
We've seen it. The 1 and 2 seeds, I think, are a legit whole head above what Pittsburgh is. When Pittsburgh went to Buffalo to play Buffalo, Buffalo gave it to them. They did.
26-15, Buffalo won. So I was high on Pittsburgh for the year. You lose 4 out of 5. You got the worst run offense in the league. It's going to be close.
And I'm
Tom.
just going to say this. When
But I think our
Pittsburgh
kicker cost the game.
lost to Washington,
we lose because of the kicker.
When Pittsburgh lost to Washington, that sent them on a derail. And I'm not saying that trying to pound Washington's chest. I just know how bad of a loss that was for Pittsburgh. And that just, what it did was expose their flaws. That's exactly what it did. And
All right,
people
JP,
just capitalized.
I need your picks this weekend. See how much better you do than us, okay? And you got to keep it quick, okay?
All right.
All right. Just say the team, okay? No
right.
thoughts, no suggestions. Alabama versus Ohio State.
Ohio State.
Tom
What do you
doesn't-
want me to do?
No,
Nothing,
you're doing what
nothing.
you're doing.
Good. You did
Golly.
exactly what you need to do.
Colts at Bills.
Colts.
All right. Seahawks versus Rams.
Rams.
Try to do this for him. Is say the whole name and give him something. So he said Rams.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Washington Football Team.
Yo ho ho. Buccaneers.
See, I said nothing extra. There he goes. Baltimore Ravens at Tennessee Titans.
Titans.
He chose the Saints to beat the Bears.
Chicago Bears at New Orleans Saints. You said Saints.
Saints.
And then Cleveland Browns versus Pittsburgh Steelers.
Steelers.
All right, JP, we'll see how much better you do than we did this weekend. And that's all. That's all the thought, folks, that he put in just now was sitting up.
And just
He's going to
answered
beat
the
two.
questions.
He's at least going to beat 2 of us on picks.
He
probably.
might. He just might.
Oh, God. All right, Tommy. Any other final news and notes? JP, let's take a quick break. We'll come back and say goodbye to everybody. I know we missed a break or two. Let's take a quick break. Come back. We'll just say goodbye. All right? We'll be back in a minute. KDC Broadcast.
You know, we always tell our kids that there's no such thing as a money tree. But did you know at Friendship Nissan in Forest City, we kind of do have a money tree? Our money tree gives a $500 better price on any new Nissan, and that's a $500 guarantee that we put in writing. We have no haggle clear choice pricing, the region's only non-commissioned sales force, and we have the only lifetime warranty with no time or mileage limits. So you see, at Friendship Nissan, we kind of do have a money tree, and we're located in Forest City.
Join us every Sunday at 11 a.m. for our Sunday morning worship services on WCSL 1590 AM and 92.3 FM. It's the Sunday morning service of First Baptist Church in Cherryville. On WLON 1050 AM and 107.5 FM, it's the Sunday service of the Covenant Bible Church in Lincolnton. And on WOHS 1390 AM and 101.5 FM, it's the Sunday service of the Calvary Baptist Church of Shelby. Join us each and every Sunday morning for our Sunday morning worship services on The Boss and Carolina Country. You'll be first on race day with a stop at Kings Mountain Auto Supply, 904 West Gold Street in Kings Mountain. You'll find a full line of auto parts. They've got it all, and they even carry racing fuel. So before you head out to the track, get your racing fuel from Kings Mountain Auto Supply. Give them a call at 704-739-0391. In addition to great prices, you'll get friendly and knowledgeable service as well. Kings Mountain Auto Supply, 904 West Gold Street in Kings Mountain. Open Monday through Friday from 8 till 6, Saturdays 8 till noon. Like them on Facebook, too.
Get your candy, man, at LDP Farms in Bellwood. You'll find all of your old-fashioned favorites, including pecan logs, Yoo-hoo, Mary Jane's, peppermint balls, Tootsie Rolls, Honey, and more. Plus, you'll find a big selection of Amish goods, along with livestock feed and new all-natural feed. And try the new line of seafood by Willie. Open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call 704-898-7312 for LDP Farms, Highway 18 North in Bellwood.
The dining room at Mitchem's Kitchen in Vale has reopened. That's right, you can come in and sit down and enjoy a great meal from Mitchem's Kitchen in Vale. The dining room has reopened. Sure, you can still get takeouts, and sure, you can go through the drive-through window. And now you can come in and sit down and eat. Mitchem's Kitchen is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner from 7 a.m. till 8 p.m. Monday through Saturday and 7 a.m. till 2 p.m. on Sundays. For orders to go, call 704-276-1155. Mitchem's Kitchen, Highway 27 west of Lincoln at the Highway 274 intersection. Again, the dining room is now open at Mitchem's Kitchen.
You'll feel better when you look better. And you'll look better than ever with a stop at Teddy's Emporium Outlet at Eastridge Mall in Gastonia. Just arrived a big new shipment of name brand cosmetics. Check out their great prices on these name brand products. And for the kids, they have Hello Kitty, Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Frozen, and Sophie items. That's at Teddy's Emporium Outlet on North New Hope Road at Eastridge Mall in Gastonia. Like them on Facebook too.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the guys for the last leg of the race.
One more time, thank you, Friendship Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, for sponsoring Saturday Sports Talk. 190 Oak Street Extension is where Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram is located. That's Forest City, North Carolina, 828-919-3001. Friendship Nissan, 156 Oak Street Extension, Forest City, North Carolina, 828-245-1661. See our friends at Friendship. Put you in a new Dodge, Jeep, Chrysler, or Nissan today.
And Tom, keyword there is friendship. So go see our friends.
My brother
at Friendship, Chrysler,
My
Jeep,
brother
Dodge,
did,
and Nissan.
My brother did, and his girlfriend did, and they are not disappointed in their Dodge products.
Let me tell you something. That's a nice little slogan I have going on right there.
That's
I said it a few breaks ago.
Terry, you got any news or notes, final thoughts for today's weekend or anything?
No, not really.
Terry, as much trash as you talked about LaMelo
nothing
Ball.
He literally said
nothing.
Not
much
really.
trash as you talked about LaMelo Ball, who almost became the youngest person to ever have a triple-double in NBA history.
He didn't.
I think Kirk, keyword there was almost.
Yeah.
He didn't.
You know what?
He did.
I threatened to get blocked. You talk about blocking people. He
That's
threatened
awesome.
to block
That's a good
me,
response.
block me from his phone because of LaMelo Ball. I'm trying to give this 19-year-old kid, and you treat him like he's a 35-year-old grown man in your criticisms.
And he shoots a lot of air balls.
He shot 7 more shots than beyond.
I mean, one game he shot 4 in one game.
You're ignoring the rebounds he's getting. You're ignoring the assists.
I'm sorry.
Terry, let me ask you something.
I'm sorry.
If your point guard is getting a lot of rebounds, is he guarding anyone?
Well,
You've coached and refereed basketball quite a bit.
That's what I'm saying.
If your point guard is getting a lot of rebounds, Hunter,
I mean,
you're
he's
a
leaving.
Washington Wizards fan. If your point guard is getting a lot of rebounds, is he playing a lot of defense?
No, but in the words of Bradley Beal, we can't guard a parked car.
That's what Boston said to you last night.
He's one of them, too.
So
he's getting rebounds. He doesn't have to play defense.
You're right. He don't play defense.
So
you got it.
So he had 12. The other 2 guards from the other team that came off the bench combined had 33. So let's keep counting rebounds and whatever. But whatever. I got announcements. Next Friday night, high school sports is supposed to be back. We did this last Saturday. How about that? The 15th, next Saturday, or next Friday night, Bessemer City Yellow Jackets and the Cherryville Ironmen face off at Nixon Gym in Cherryville in WCSL with Tim Johnson and Danny Aker. Over at Crest, we'll have Hunter Huss at Crest. I guess Tom and Robbie will be on the call with that. I do got to talk to you about that before we leave. Remind me.
Okay.
And Lincoln at West Lincoln Hunter will be on the schedule next Friday night. Hunter Yancey and Matt Chapman on that. Rest of the week's schedule, though, let me give you those. Today, Wake Forest and Duke at 11 a.m. Clemson, North Carolina has been canceled. We will be having the Charlotte Hornets on tonight. Charlotte Hornets basketball on tonight, and I just lost.
No, they play back-to-back. Who are they playing? The Pelicans again?
No, not Pelicans. It might be.
They try to do
the
regionally
NBA schedule
now.
was weird like that. That's the Hawks tonight.
Oh, okay. Oh, they just beat the Hawks tonight too, huh?
Yeah. So they got the Hawks tonight. Tomorrow we got no games on KTC, folks. Enjoy tuning in and listening to music all day for the first time in quite a while on Sunday. Sundays, that may be the only Sunday of the year that we don't have anything
No
on
racing.
KTC. No
Racing will get cranked up next
No
month.
Panthers.
No baseball.
Just
No
listen to my boys.
baseball.
Yeah.
So, folks, enjoy. Turn the music on and go outside and do something. On Monday, we'll have Knicks at Hornets and Roy Williams live. Tuesday, Duke at Virginia Tech. Wednesday, Dallas Mavericks at Charlotte Hornets. Thursday, Hornets at Toronto. And then, of course, next Friday night, basketball on KTC. Like I said earlier. Another quick announcement. We're in talking with getting set up doing baseball games for Cleveland County Yetis baseball. That's video as well online. Don't know about radio as far as that goes, but video definitely. Streaming. Here's your schedule coming out. And folks, another announcement: they'll be playing at McNair Field in Forest City. So they got a nice home field to play at this year. But while the softball and baseball field are being constructed, home schedule for you folks listening: Saturday, March 6th, they'll have a double header against Patrick Henry, and then they have games all the way through May 9th at home. They have 20 home games. I did want to point out a couple of other ones at some local high schools that will be playing Catawba Valley and Catawba College. Now, the one game on the schedule that is big of note is Wednesday, April 28th at Gardner-Webb University. So the Yetis will be facing off with the Gardner-Webb Bulldogs on Wednesday, April 28th. Playoffs, their play-in games begin May 11th, and their playoff the sites to be determined in the World Series is May 22nd. So, guys, we've got coming up high school basketball for 5 or 6, 7 weeks. Then we got high school football in the middle. And while we're doing all that, Hunter, we're going to be dancing around on Tuesdays and Saturdays with Cleveland County Yetis baseball. So this spring will be way more busy, it looks like, than
last spring.
The last fall. Last spring we at least got the basketball.
Yeah, true.
All right, guys.
That's actually true.
Anything else? Go Browns, Tom.
Go Browns.
Go Browns.
Excited for playoff football.
Terry looks excited for playoff football. Look at him. Say go, dog. He's in the dog.
Playoffs?
Look at him.
Yeah. The dogs. Yes.
Go
yeah.
Dogs. Ain't that right, Terry?
All the way. Yeah.
We'll see you guys next week. Saturday Sports Talk brought to you by Friendship, Chrysler Jeep Dodge, Friendship, Nissan of Forest City, and Mitchem's Kitchen Breakfast.
Chosen breed, you don't see too many like me, 'cause I am one of the reasons you do what you do when you